Why not 4K?
Because apparently people's computers can't handle it.
Hey, my computer can handle anything it throws at you. Hey, we're back.
Am I streaming?
I think so.
Does my head move when I move my head?
Uh,
What am I saying?
now it's just got a big delay. Everyone says it's okay for them now. And by everyone, I mean one person.
Jolkson?
Jolkson.
Oh, you know what?
Pacific,
I should give a shout out to Jolkson.
No, don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. Don't say it. Da. And Jolkson. Got it.
There you go. I have all these new commands too.
It's crazy. Who's Jolkson? Jolkson, what do you do for a living? Cheese, I presume.
Some sort of engineering. But they stream microscope stuff on Twitch.
Really? I'm gonna go stalk your account real quick. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Usually for several hours a day.
Can we be friends?
Do you need friends?
No, I don't need friends. Actually, I may actually need friends. I may have to work on that.
I mean, how would you know?
Microscope stuff.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They said engineering stuff.
No, I said they're an engineer.
No, what'd you say?
Then they stream microscope stuff. That's literally what I said.
I don't recall. We'll have to watch the playback. We'll have to watch the playback. Don't worry.
There is a recording. Somebody could clip it.
No, no one do that.
You don't want to see the actual evidence right now, is what you're saying.
Because I just put my hands over my eyes, I do not see.
That's a good way to do it. So we're looking. I haven't even said hi. I've been busy talking with you.
Sorry.
It's all right. We are looking at some samples that Pacific Plankton sent to me from San Francisco Bay. And these ones were collected on 4/22. Right? April 22.
22nd and 26th.
Yeah, these ones are for the 22nd, though.
Oh, cool.
The other ones are from
I'm
the
confusing
26th.
the people.
And we process these, and by we, I mean the royal we. And some of them are processed and some of them are not processed, and these are in the processed category, designated by Mallory with a star for us. What is this thing?
Funny you should ask. Actually, Micah stopped by the lab. Gives a little cheese pellet.
It looks like an ostracod.
That's a cheese curd.
Is it possible that we have ostracods?
Maybe.
It looks a lot like an ostracod.
What is an ostracod?
A crustacea?
Like a crab? Or a spider?
Similar, except for they live in a shell.
Pacific Plankton says it's an estuary, anything is possible.
Well, that I'm aware of. But it seems like an ostracod, and I thought I saw another one that also looked like an ostracod. So, I don't know if this was one of those days where it was super windy, Pacific, but sometimes when it's super windy, then you get more like benthic stuff in your plankton. At which point, it's more likely that we would find some ostracods, probably, in your sample. I haven't looked at these samples before we started. I just slapped them on there, and well, first I gold-plated them, and prior to that, she rinsed them and washed them in nitric acid.
Yeah. Sorry.
Are you just making weird noises?
No, when I realized I have not become accustomed to being recorded in any fashion.
It's alright. Just pretend you're not it's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
That worked so well for me in the past.
Yeah.
The other day I went and looked at old clips.
Of us?
The channel. Yeah.
From back in the day?
From the Halloween stream.
Just the clips.
Just the clips.
Yes. And?
I found that one clip where I was talking about giving a cupcake a high thing. And you go like, look at these cupcakes. I'm like, what's that? I forgot you did that.
I don't remember what you're
and also
talking
you
about at
talk
all.
bad about my ghost cupcakes. Actually, that's caught live in 4K, so.
But that doesn't mean I remember it.
Pacific Plankton said, "Can you get an image of that one? So many Chatosios."
Ketosaurus.
Exactly, that's what I said.
Yeah. I will. I don't know which one she means,
Mm.
but
Promises the delays.
this was, yeah, there's a delay for you guys, but I did notice there's a, what is this, a 6?
You know,
1,
sea
2, 3,
urchins?
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6-6.
She said the barrel one.
Oh, yeah, I can go back to that. It's, the barrel one was a Paralia, I think is what she means. And this one is Actinopticus, and it's a 6er. Normally we see the 3 ones. This is the 6 one. So I'm going to fuss with the image just a little bit more because that's my thing. And then I'll take a picture of this and then I'll go back to the other one. By request. I don't know. It's hard to tell because this stuff is so big.
Good news, everyone.
There was a new follow and it completely startled me, but I managed to suppress it.
Thank you, Mid-Minima, for the follow.
Mid-minima?
Yes, Mid-Minima.
Mid-minima.
Oh, and you know what? Stream Elements said, "Hey, I'm a thank you too." Look at that.
Stream Elements said what?
Stream Elements said thank you as well.
Ah,
like-
I've made the bot do that.
Unbelievable. The Me 6 bot?
The Me 6 bot?
No, this says Stream Elements.
Stream Elements is my bot.
Me 6 is my bot.
I know. I don't-
Keep your hands off my bot.
Careful now.
I know. Already off to a good start.
Alright, I'm going to take this picture of our 6er. It's Actinopticus. What's this one called? Syrians or something like that?
Syrians?
Is Anna still here? Or did she leave when we restarted?
I have not heard from her.
Oh.
Other than the restart. Kind of cool how it says you're live now. He's a little slow.
Syrians has 3. Okay. Syrians is the one we normally see then. This one is a different one. Thank you, Anna.
Anna, my friend. My dear Facebook friend. We know each other on Facebook.
Does she know who you are?
Where we... No, I don't know.
You friended her and she didn't friend you back?
She friended me first.
Oh, okay.
I'm on the defense here.
Okay.
Liked the VTube. Only thing I changed is there were no alerts/overlays, and I don't know if you could see chat.
Oh, for my, I did a little stream on Sunday with Dr. Mo on Twitch. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I can't watch those. The little characters freak me out. I watch anime. I don't know why they freak me out.
I mean, you don't need to
Just
watch me play a
knowing that-
video game.
Knowing that they're like, their movements are like tracking the movements of like someone else, you know what
It's
I mean?
just the camera that's watching in my face,
No,
though.
that doesn't make sense.
It's what happens.
But they move.
Mine just moves its head and its face, because my head and my face are moving. But I can make it move its hands.
It reminds me of the Vocaloids. Like
It's
Hatsune
like,
Miku.
it's just advanced puppetry, that's all.
No, it reminds me of Hatsune Miku. You know who that is? Are you big on Hatsune Miku?
I don't know any anime.
I believe it. Anime?
What?
Oh, sorry, that took me back.
Anime?
It's not anime, it's,
Manga?
no, it was like a,
TV show?
no, it was like a holographic pop artist. It was all digital.
Oh.
It was like a big thing back in the day. Alvin Science Chipmunk said, "Hi, Diatomaceous."
Hi, Alvin.
Alvin.
Guess what, Alvin? And everyone else? I'm completely vaccinated. Mallory is
Exactly.
completely vaccinated.
Neither of us have masks on right now because we're both completely vaccinated. And you know what? I didn't even get that sick from the second vaccine. I just got a little sleepy. My arm hurt, But
Your arm hurt.
I'm a big baby, so
Yeah. How bad did it hurt? Were you crying?
no.
Well, you can't be that big of a baby then.
You're right.
Do you know that Pacific Plankton's also fully vaccinated now?
Really, Pacific? Pacific could be in this room with us right now. She is in this room.
I mean, she could be hanging out here in the lab with us for sure.
She's like a specter in the corner.
Bit of a travel issue, but
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. A Rams Reef. That sounds like a ref. I don't even know what that sounds like. I'm
you
not.
give Rams Reef a shout out.
Says, oh, thanks, PP. You don't have to.
San Fran.
Pacific Plankton already gave her a shout out.
It's a guy, I think.
First of all, we had this conversation with Tropical. Does Tropical come around anymore?
Every once in a while. You know what? I think maybe they stopped coming around when you weren't around anymore.
That's believable.
I should put in the title, Mallory's here.
Mallory's here. I'm present. Alvin says, vaccinated science, mRNA, they say younger people have a more robust immune system, so more of a reaction. I'm not on screen, but how old do you think I am?
She's at least 5.
That's what I always say. I'm at least 5. That's my catchphrase.
Is it? When the guys ask, that's what you tell them?
Yeah. I'm about 5 years old. That actually heightens the interest now. Vocaloids are mostly anime style, but it's not. Trust me, I'm a Vocaloid expert.
Oh
I know
boy.
a thing or two about Hatsune Miku.
Oh boy.
Anna is fully vaccinated.
She can come hang out with us.
You can be my Facebook friend.
Oh, there's one with 3. Here's an Actinopticus with 3. Right there.
Why are diatoms so holy?
Is this a joke? Was that a prefix for a joke?
I don't know. Craigon X asked it.
I'm just trying to figure out if it was a joke or not.
Craigon, was that a joke? I think it was a question.
How do they spell holy?
Holy, as in like, not like in Michael W. Smith. I mixed up.
Who are you talking about right now?
I mixed up 80s sensation George Michael with Michael W. Smith. Anyway, yeah, like as in like holes, as in like the movie where they dig holes in the desert and then there's like Stanley Yelnats.
Movie?
Holes. You've never seen Holes?
I have not seen a movie called Holes.
You've never seen a movie called Holes?
This is a great question, though.
It's crazy.
It seems like something that would...
It's actually a really good movie.
It's just about people looking at
It's
holes?
a children's movie. You should show it to Sylvia. Teaches you a lot.
I can't tell if you're being serious or whether you're saying something I should definitely not show my daughter.
It's actually a
It's
kid's
named
movie.
Holes.
It's a Disney movie.
I'm a little concerned about it. It's named Holes.
It's about like delinquent kids who get sent to a like a ranch and they just dig holes every day and there's like a whole backstory for why they're digging holes.
Please don't ruin it for me then.
That's it. That's what's on the back of the DVD box.
That was the whole box?
No. Oh, Craigon says it's not a joke, it's a question. They want to know why there's so many holes.
The holes are ways for the diatoms to communicate with the outside world, and I don't mean like send them telephone messages through text, but rather to get nutrients in and let waste go out. So this is there are some other holes that do other things. This is a really curious looking diatom though. I thought it was just Paralia, but I don't know what's going on right here on the outside edge. I need to phone a friend. Anna? What's going on right here? What is this business along the outside edge here?
Holes is a good book you should read with your kids, and thank you for the answer. Everyone is saying it's a good movie and a good book. Even Pacific said that. Pacific said book's better.
The book is better?
It's definitely like an iconic piece of literature.
Okay. Good enough for a 7-year-old is what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, is she like a big reader?
Yeah. In fact, she is.
What is
They
she?
read every single night.
Does she like read it herself? Like, I guess it doesn't matter.
It's like a mix. Sometimes it's like, Mommy, read me this, and sometimes she reads it. I'm not allowed to read stuff to her.
Really? Why? Do you provide commentary?
No.
You'd be like, this is the this sentence structure.
No. I read things in a calm, relaxing voice to try to put her to sleep.
Oh, she doesn't like that.
She does not like that.
Does she need, like,
She
drama?
Yes. So mom reads things in a very animated fashion, and she does different sort of voices for the characters, and I think completely defeats the purpose of why you read children's stories at night.
Yeah.
Like, I think the purpose is to put them to sleep, not to keep them engaged in the story. But they'll read like 8 books because it's always every one. It's like Judy Moody, and Judy Moody's like super excited, stinky brother and all of her. You know who Judy Moody is?
I know Judy Moody is. I just didn't enjoy the book series.
Well, when you're 7, it's super interesting, apparently, and you'll read the same book over and over again.
I was
And
thinking of the Boxcar Children.
Boxcar Children?
You don't know the Boxcar
I don't think
Children?
that one's one we read, but we could probably get it.
Oh, but you know about it?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh. I don't know when were they written. They're like old though, like
That's probably why we don't have it.
Boxcar Children.
You reading us books from your old farm you grew up on?
Published 1924 to the present.
1924.
Yeah, it's like a series. They're like
1924 to present?
yeah, they still write them.
For 97 years they've been writing these stories?
So. They're like 4 kids who lived in a boxcar and then they went to live with their uncle or their grandpa, I think.
Did they go through the
Their
generations?
parents
Because
died.
it's been 94 years,
No,
97 years.
They've just been going.
The same kids are 97 years
It's
of
like
the
the-
same stories from the same kids in the same boxcars?
It's like Tuck Everlasting. Well, they're not in a boxcar now. They were in a boxcar for a while.
That's a lot of boxcars.
I mean, I'm really surprised their grandparents are still kicking. Like,
I mean,
time was going for them at some point.
are they descendants of Peter Pan?
They're not.
I didn't think Peter Pan could have kids, but
They like solve mysteries, I guess.
did Anna say anything about the weird?
Yeah.
I know we're excited about
About children's books.
children's books. Actually, Anna probably likes children's books.
Anna said plaques ? Looks good for Paralia.
Really? These things are on the edge? I don't know. Those are super weird to me.
Holes teaches you about discipline. Also, Holes is a good book you should read with your kids. Yeah. Yeah, things to read. What is easy, I can't do voice impressions. Pacific Plankton said mom is amazing. It's true, mom's a
Yeah.
really one. My parents never read to me. I was the type to hide my book and then have a little flashlight, and I assume that my parents did not know that I was reading, even though for Christmas one year I got a tiny little book flashlight. So I have a...
They know.
I think they figured it out.
I think they knew all along.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to trick your parents.
No.
Kids out there, listen up.
When I was in
You're not fooling anybody. When you're 7 and you think you can lie to people, you can't.
When I was in first grade, we had to have our parents sign off at the end of the week on our calendar. Yeah.
What you read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got really good at forging my mom's signature. Unnecessarily good.
Your mom still watches these streams, right?
She knows, because she went to the parent-teacher conference, and my teacher referenced it, and my mom was like, what are you talking about? What is that? And I was like, oh, jig's up.
Jig was
And I
up.
looked back, and it progressively got closer and closer to her actual signature. I don't know, it's funny. Trappy Jenkins says, I know the Boxcar Children, although not personally.
You know them.
I met him once or twice.
I mean, if you're 94...
Ooh, Alvin said you have the best voice, and he calls you Diatoms. His
Thank
name
you.
is D Stone. D-E-E. Stone.
No,
Yes.
it is not.
Close.
It's close.
If
In
you,
that you got the last name right.
If you read a kid... Oh, Alvin had to leave. Bye, my friend.
Bye, Alvin.
If you read a kid only before bed, the goal is to put the kid to sleep, then when are they supposed to read for a story? School.
Whoa.
That looks cute.
What is going on here?
Looks like something was eating it.
No, it's like one of these cyst versions. It's crazy.
Just don't read the Hardy Boys. Yeah, Hardy Boys is boring. I've never read it, but
Oh, judgy. Super
Craig-
judgy.
Craigon's wife says that when you zoom out, it looks like a junk drawer.
Yeah. I like to think of it more like a graveyard, but yeah, a junkyard and a graveyard or a junk drawer and a graveyard are pretty similar. It does look like something just blasted a
We
hole
need to
out the
address
side of it
that.
right here. This is Ketosaurus, and those are where the setae come out. It looks like, anyway.
Looks like it. See, that's its mouth right there, and then
And-
it had a zipper.
But this is like a weird cyst version of... That is super weird.
Anna says, Chaetoceros.
Mm-hmm, Ketosaurus.
Just as I said.
Yeah.
Rams Reef. My kids hate when I read. I put myself to sleep. They have to keep waking me up, and then after a couple times, they just give up and go somewhere else with me sleeping.
This is, this happens to my wife, too. She will put herself to sleep reading to my daughter. I will sometimes come in there and they're either both knocked out, or Sylvia will be watching her iPad, having realized that mommy fell asleep.
I too know this. When I read to my children,
You?
yeah,
Yeah.
my 13 children, they lived in a boxcar for a while.
Oh, I thought maybe they lived in a shoe based on the number.
Pacific wants to know, was it reusing silica?
Right here? Like this? This is, I think this is, I don't know what's going on right here. It looks like something came out the side of it in an alien movie. We'll stay zoomed in so that our sample doesn't look like a junk drawer to, whose wife was that?
Craigon.
Craig on?
Craigon.
Craig on?
Craigon. It
Like
doesn't matter how
Klingon?
you pronounce it. Like Klingon, but Craigon. So the only thing that's the same is the K.
It's got an on at the end.
No, I think I'd remember that. Excuse me.
I'm gonna take this picture.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba.
You know, it's great having Mallory read the chat to me now.
Yeah, because I put in the personality.
She does all of you in her voice,
Yeah,
her different voices, which are all the same voice.
yeah. Well, hear me out. One time I tried to do voices for people, and people didn't respect me after, so I quit that. They didn't respect me before either, but I thought maybe it would change things.
For people who aren't familiar with Mallory,
I'm the main event.
sorry, I almost spit my chips on you. You're the main event?
Yeah, I'm the main event.
Can I turn the camera over to you then?
I used to come here a lot, and then I didn't, and now I'm back. I don't know if that's regular or if I'm just gonna disappear for another year.
That's all I wanted to know right there.
But I'll be here for the summer.
The share program, yeah.
Yeah,
We haven't figured out what you're doing yet.
we haven't.
Well, I mean, I know what you're doing. I don't know
Well,
what you're doing for your
potentially,
project.
you know what I could? Potentially, I was thinking about that one paper that E.T. wanted. She said it was like a smaller paper. Papal Mallory? Papal Mallory? But, oh, Ramsreef said it's okay, you're vaccinated, let those chips fly. When you said let those chips fly, I want you to know that I felt nauseous a little. The idea of, like, food coming in. Anyway.
Me spitting food on you?
Anyone spitting food, like...
There's
who
probably a
likes it?
category on Twitch for people who get food spit on them. We should just call it spooting. That'd be great.
What if we
Spitting
never said
food.
that word again?
Spooting.
Wouldn't that be crazy, though? And we never said it again?
There's probably a spooting category
Anna
on
said-
on Twitch.
I don't think it's gonna be called that. I don't think anyone would call anything that ever. Don't disappear again. First of all, Anna. Okay. Second of all, I don't know what I was gonna say. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I was thinking of doing that one thing that E.T. talked about,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought that'd be nice, and then I wouldn't have to try and find a different project, and it's mostly writing and stuff, so I'd be out of people's way, because everyone else is starting new projects and stuff, and be good experience. So I was considering that. But right now I'm just focused on getting my finals done and actually passing my classes, so give me Friday, noon p.m., then I'll say yes or no.
I wasn't trying to push you towards something or even push you to
You
think
didn't
about
even
it.
push me at all, I just offered that. I'll be fully vaccinated and immune as of Friday. I'm super excited.
Who said that?
Craig on.
All right, Craig.
Can
We're
I-
excited too.
You call him Craig? Well, technically it'd be Crag.
Oh, it's.
Or-
Oh, I see.
It's Cragon, but I like Cragon because I'm American and I like the noise. Also, I'm
is-
from the Midwest, so I like double like the noise.
Catastra assist.
Grams Reeve said, donate $10, get me to write your name on my forehead as I spit chips into my hot dog boo-boo.
Yeah, I
Someone-
bet it. I'm gonna tell you right now. There's gonna be people who will do it.
Clip me reading that in a monotone voice and use that for your business.
I can tell you right now. If there's people who just watch other people eat crunchy chicken, sorry, dangling, then you know they'll definitely want to see you spit food on other people.
Does Dangling watch, like, mukbangs?
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting. I cannot
That's
stand...
very judgmental of you, and
I
she
don't
probably
care.
would not appreciate it.
Dangling and I have a special relationship. We can bully each other all we want.
Yesterday, she told me to ban you.
What? Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. And she said, "Why does Mallory have so much control over the Discord?"
Because technically it's my Discord. I'm like...
I tried to tell her that.
I got like a hand on the plug at any moment. Any moment.
I tried
a-
to tell her it was your Discord,
I'm a wild card.
and that when I want things done, I just ask you to do them.
That's fair.
And
Wild card. You guys got your music. I'm like I'm like a dictator. I'm like, I give you like a little penny.
I will grant thee one music bot.
Give you like scraps. I'm sitting here and like all the fancy stuff. Pacific said, just no, please. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna judge Dangling right now, and someone can let her know. I'll let her know that I said this. If you watch mukbangs, I'm gonna bully you because that is a gross noise, and I don't like it.
I moved us a little bit closer.
I was wondering why we were far away.
Well, we were only at 10.
No, I don't recall that.
Now we're at 5. We are
Pacific-
twice as close as we were.
You know what? Everyone gets, like, says stuff about the holes. What's wrong with the holes? You know what? This is a lot like the movie. Or the book.
It's just like the book. In this story, the Diatoms dig holes.
They literally dig holes across the entire desert in an attempt to find some... Well, I'm not going to ruin... Well, you're never going to watch it if you haven't watched it by now. That stuff... Because let me tell you what, that stuff was like... That was on, you know, TV, on Disney Channel, like, weekly. That was a Saturday night event. Whenever I would go over to my dad's friend's house for New Year's, like the New Year's Eve party or whatever, back when people did that kind of thing.
People still do that.
No, I don't know that. But,
I think they do.
well, they never invite me. So they must not be having Well... Oh, District 10 Mushrooms is here.
Oh, you know he's got his own command?
I see that now. I do see
Did
that.
Pac
So
do
they
it?
gave a mush.
He's got 2. You can use mush or just 10, in case you forget which one it is.
Cragon said, shh, don't spoil it. Yeah, I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it. Yeah, Pacific Plankton said party. See, she's not invited either. Obviously, they're not having them.
I mean, if you don't get invited, I don't know what to tell you.
Anyway, I would be at these events, and on the 4th of July and stuff like that, and it'd be late at night, and by late at night, I mean at like a fat 11 p.m. It was late for me back in the day. And,
On New Year's Eve?
yeah. And we'd be upstairs watching holes on, like, the box TV that, like, barely got channels, and everyone would be like, holes,
What would they be like?
holes. I'm so
I've missed
glad
these
no one
little
witnessed
chats.
that. I'm so glad no one saw that.
Can I put the camera on you now so they can see your dance?
Well, I won't do it again.
Oh,
I can actually, well,
it's a good one.
does anyone know how to clip here?
Yeah, they all know how to clip.
Okay, I thought maybe they didn't and then I'd do it, but if they do, then I won't. Because now I see that the Halloween ones are permanent. It's never going away. My bathroom spider? Oh my god, there was a ginormous bathroom spider in my bathroom.
Who was asking about your bathroom spider?
Me.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. It reminds me of this one video where it's like,
You presented it as though someone had asked you about your bathroom spider, but clearly in your own head there was some sort of separate dialogue where somebody said, Mallory, how's your bathroom spider doing?
There's two people in my head. Two wolves exist in my head. But that reminds me of a tweet.
Try to get through one thing at a time.
It said, two wolves exist in my head. Both of them are forklift certified. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. Anyway,
I'm not sure.
one person left. I'm so sorry for that.
You chased someone out?
I did. Anyway, no, there was this bathroom spider, and it was freaking massive, and it was not there the night before, and it had built
Sorry,
like a web.
for
all over the
scale,
floor.
can you show people what you mean by freaking massive? Also, that's Mallory over there.
I'm not looking my best today.
She looks great, as usual.
That big. Compared to whatever phone this is, that big.
So that's roughly 1.5 inches.
Yeah, I know a thing or two about spider size.
Sorry, camera people.
The plankton signal summoned me. Freya's furry PhD. Are you what?
We send up the plankton symbol?
Oh, Freya's fury PhD. I thought it was furry. And you know what? We are accepting of everyone in this community. But it just caught me off guard. I was
That's
like, how
true.
do you get a PhD in furry business?
You want to know?
A
You're
little
asking
bit.
for a friend, or you want to know?
Let's see. I'm asking for 2 people left. I have summoned the anger of the furry community. I apologize. You know what? Anyway, the bathroom spider was huge and I killed it. That was the whole story. Because I think...
You killed it.
No, hear me out. I do not kill spiders if they are within a certain size range. If they are too big, they have to go. If they're too small, I'll look at them a little bit, I guess. But if they're the perfect baby medium size, I'll let them live.
So if the spider, there's like a you must be this small to live sign in your
Yeah.
bathroom for spiders is basically what you're trying to tell me.
Pretty much. I mean, if you got weird little spindly legs, what am I supposed to do? Let you live? I'm the same way with people. No, I'm kidding. Oh, Freya's Fury, their PhD is in chemical engineering. That's so funny because I'm a chemistry major.
Yeah. And she's also a furry.
I'm not a furry. I could be, though. And you know what? That'd be okay. Plankton have a genome like no other. We were linked an article
Yeah, I saw.
by District 10 Mushrooms. Thank you, District 10. I can't read, actually, so unfortunately I won't be able to take a look at it, but maybe Dr. Stone will.
You can't read?
I'm illiterate.
Oh.
There's a large...
This explains a lot, actually.
Well, I'm the face of illiteracy. You know what I was the face of? I guess I was a really pathetic looking child. And so, my mom used to take pictures of me and put them on her, she used to work in marketing or like to do fundraising events and like planning, event
Good
planning.
news, everyone.
Oh no, we gotta thank someone. Thank you for following, Justin.
Yeah, Justin, thank you.
Justin.
We appreciate it.
OMG, hey Justin, what's up?
What's this barrel-shaped thing?
Anyway, my mom did fundraising stuff and
that's
she
a
used
blessed
me.
Syra.
She would like take pictures of me when I was just doing my thing as a little pathetic child. And I guess I looked like I hadn't eaten in a while, and so she would put me on child hunger pamphlets. Yeah.
That sounds problematic.
A little bit. But, I mean, it
This
worked,
is a-
didn't it? Because she raised money. And she gave it to actually hungry children.
I mean, it seems a little bit like false advertising.
I was hungry all the time. I could have eaten 10 cupcakes per day, but I only ate 1. Why not just relocate it outside your bathroom? Hear me out. I don't like it when they move. So
The spiders?
Yes. Go back to spiders. That's a bit sizist, isn't it? Discrimination. No, I'm helping. If I If I teach them to not be as big, they'll be smaller. Like turtles.
What?
I won't explain that. I love spiders all over the house. They are our friends.
Is that Pacific Plankton?
That was someone named Claire Burr.
Oh, Claire. Okay, hi. Hi, Claire.
Is your last name Burr? Are you related to
Oak trees?
a penguin? Because they're Burr.
That was like a bad dad joke.
Uh-oh, video's gone.
It's gone entirely?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Our video is gone or their video is gone?
Mine is.
I don't know, the computer is acting weird.
Someone said, did the stream crash? Maybe.
Yeah, it's got 0 kilobytes per second. Now
Can
it
you
jumped
hear
back
us?
up. It's like bouncing back and forth.
Maybe. Can anyone hear us? Love me, say that you love me.
I think maybe it was just a temporary brownout in our internet.
Brownout?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
A blackout's when it goes away completely.
Ah.
And a brownout's like when it doesn't quite go all the way out. Like when your power flickers but it doesn't actually shut off.
Oh, someone says it's happened on several streams. Maybe it's a Twitch problem.
It could be a Twitch problem, but here on my OBS it had the kilobytes per second drop down to 0 for a couple of seconds. It doesn't have me having any drop frames though, so I'm not sure.
Reyes says, someone says it's frozen again. It's Pacific.
Is it frozen?
I guess so. Many house spiders won't survive well outside, but we can hear you. That's all you need.
I mean,
I don't respect large spiders because they have the audacity to drop down. And if there's a chance, then I don't want that. Bye, Anna.
what'd she
Anna
say?
She said till next time.
Oh, she has to work?
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, the computer's acting a little weird.
All together?
Yeah. Like it's having a hard time processing things.
It's okay, me too.
Yeah.
The stream is okay. Parkerzilla. Is that like an indictment on our performance, or is like this stream like doing better? Like, can you explain that a little further?
It's a good point.
It's an okay
It's okay.
stream. It's alright. Oh no, I just needed to refresh my page.
Now it's working?
Yeah, kind of. It keeps freezing, but my computer does it anyway. Whatever shall I do? Whatever
It's like
shall
rubber
I
banding
do?
on the computer a little bit. I don't know if it's like OBS is sending information and it's not getting it, or what.
Maybe it's just me. No, Pacific, I'm the problem too.
Well, don't everybody fight over it.
No,
We can all be part of the problem.
No, I'm Dirty Dan. No, I'm Dirty Dan.
Yeah, see, it says 2 kilobytes per second, so it dropped really far down.
Had to reload and got the same ad. That's rough stuff. Just then it froze for 10 seconds.
Yeah, when I'm looking at the kilobytes per second, it's sort of bouncing around.
Bouncing around.
Whereas normally it's just like a solid, like 4K.
Let's Google Twitch issues live. Twitch down, checks current status.
So the diatom that we're looking at right now is some sort of, what is this thing? Odontella?
There you go. It's a problem Twitch-wide.
Oh, cool. It does look like it's a problem Twitch-wide.
Twitch-wide.
Twitch-wide. Just then it froze for 10 seconds? Is it doing okay now?
No, it's frozen right now.
Is it frozen or not?
Yeah, mine's frozen. I'll refresh it one more time.
You know what we should do?
What?
Since they could just hear you
Yeah.
instead of seeing us.
I'll take a... Oh, should I narrate? Like nature documentary style?
Sing.
You're the best! Alright!
Parker Ziller says it is an indictment of your performance.
Okay.
But then a winky face.
A winky face?
Uh,
Meet me in
if
the
they could
Discord.
only hear us, and the channel is frozen.
True to your heart, you must be true.
I was hoping you would sing some Frozen for us.
Frozen? Why Frozen?
Because it's frozen?
Let it go.
There you go.
I forgot the phrase. Surprise stream.
I'm not
Micah?
surprised, because it's on my schedule now.
Oh yeah. Wait, what's the schedule?
It's like 2 to 5 today.
Ah.
Ah,
Were you going all the way from 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Wednesdays?
I might. You never know.
Really? I'm pretty sure that's for like Addison or Laura or someone. So I'm assuming it's Thursday and Monday.
What's Thursday and Monday?
You have it on Thursday as well.
No, I don't. Wednesday.
On Thursday.
Thursday is usually Jim Spear, I think.
Well, he could write his name.
I mean,
Good news, everyone.
thank you for the follow.
How did I miss that?
Cool all from here. See you all from here.
Yeah, what's so the full new schedule? What is it? Whenever
Good
you
news,
want.
everyone.
And Space Corpse. Space Corpse.
I'm getting a headache.
You are?
No. Hey, you're back. A piece of Odontello, or a unique species that's kind of scrawny.
I think it's an Odentello. It's one half of it. One half of one fresh jewel.
Freya's Fury, why do you know so much about diatoms if you are a chemical engineer? Go.
That's a good question. He probably saw it on Pacific Plankton stream.
Oh.
Also, if the plankton summons him, then maybe they know something about plankton as well.
Pacific verifies that it is a valve of an Odontello.
I mean, that's what I said.
She is verified.
Good news, everyone.
Wow, from here.
No, I think it's see you all.
Grizzly Diz. You know what is a new word that I'm not enjoying that much that is entering into vocabulary? Glizzy.
What does it mean?
It's just a hot dog. It's referring to
Sorry,
a hot
what?
dog.
They call a hot dog a glizzy?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, hear me out. I don't know,
I'm hearing.
but,
This is, you know what happens when I start streaming on the SEM? We've been on one sample, you know, the junk drawer one,
yes,
from Craigon's wife,
yes, it's been an hour.
for an hour.
Yeah.
And I haven't even covered like a third of the sample.
Yeah, why not?
And I feel like I want to go to different stubs so that we could see
Then
some
go.
of the other stuff.
Then go.
I'm just saying, like, we haven't been here for very long on this one sample.
Ah, time flies, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, time
This
flies.
must be an unwashed one. Find me some salt.
No, this one's not unwashed. This is processed.
Oh shoot. That was a JK.
It should be, anyway.
I was JKing.
I think it's just a little higher density than the other one. Because it looks a lot denser.
Freya's Fury learned it all from watching Pacific Plankton.
See?
It's kind of cute.
And then it's like recursive because Pacific learned some of her species diatom identification from me, and then went back to her stream, used the right names. Although I think she already knew Odontella. That's like the valve view of that Paralia we were seeing. So it doesn't look like the same one, because that one had weird things on the outside edge.
It's like resistors.
What's like resistors?
Could you explain that a little further, Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves is here?
Yeah. Yeah, Keanu Reeves is here.
Wow.
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 It looks like resistors and capacitors.
Well, these are diatoms.
Plankton time warp.
That is a Casanodiscus, and this one over here is a Thalassocyra.
Let's do the time warp again.
And you can tell that because it's got this row of stuff around the outside edge and then one big long Ramiportula external process. These over here are Skeletonema,
I thought you were gonna hit him with the You can tell that it's that because the way that it is.
I never say that.
I do. Somehow this represents a microcircuit. They're a little behind. I honestly can't see the connection either way. But I don't know anything about circuits. I should, but I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
I mean, you should?
I should.
What should you know?
Physics, just capacitors and resistors. Although I did help Brianna with her physics homework, and I figured out that if I actually sit down and do it, I do know how to do all of it. So, or I can figure it out. And she's the one in the class, so I'm just saying.
Rihanna's alive?
Rihanna is alive. I actually talked to her on the phone the other day.
On the phone?
And
Was
by
her
the-
house on fire?
Through text message.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she, like, called you.
Nah, she didn't call me. Send me a L text message.
This here's Skeletonema.
Tiny and beautiful. Just like you, Pacific. I don't know how tall you are. Sorry. Let's do the homework again.
This one you can see the girdle bands on.
Skeletonema is so different looking under SEM. Anna Kim. Wait a minute, weren't you the one that was like obsessed with my feet for a while? Did he live that down? Did I just bring it back up? No? Okay. It would be like social acceptance to find how things work and use the for what they're capable of. Yes. Anna Kim said, and Mallory. Do my feet mean nothing to you anymore? Everything? Honestly, everything we went through.
I'm almost out of chips.
Are you gonna be okay?
I don't know.
I went to Starbucks.
I should see about getting sponsored by Baked Lays.
You like baked Lay's? Are you okay?
Look at this, 65% less fat. It's reconstituted
I
potatoes.
could use the 65% more fat.
You
I
could,
don't-
but I could use less.
Nay. I got an internship interview.
Who did?
And I'm excited. Anakin. Anakin, where are you interning? Tell me.
Yeah, you're excited. Tell us.
Yeah.
What's it about? We're here for you. We'd love to hear more.
I love you. No. Anakin said question mark, question mark? No, don't play dumb. You remember the feet business. No.
We all do.
Pieces of Darth Maul are caught in there.
Oh. Who said that?
Keanu Reeves.
It's a good thing we got Luke Skywalker here.
Keanu, you know what? He kind of talks like Keanu Reeves too, so I'm a little suspicious. Have you ever
Which
heard,
version of Keanu Reeves?
Have you ever heard like Keanu Reeves speak?
Like as Keanu Reeves, or is like...
What do you mean as Keanu Reeves? That's what it is.
I mean, like, he's an actor, so he plays different roles.
He doesn't play Keanu. Well, he does play Keanu multiple times. Multiple. I'm just gonna say you. Keanu.
Can you?
Mallory wants to show her feet against sight. No, don't turn this on me. I'm checking in on you.
We went from a poop stream to a feet stream.
Oh yeah, you guys do that. I don't like the word poop. It makes me uncomfortable.
Does it?
It does.
Poop makes you uncomfortable?
Don't say it more.
What about spood?
I don't like that either.
Is it just words that have ooh in the middle? What about spooky?
Spooky's okay.
What if it was spoopy?
I think that's infantile, and it makes me want to hurl myself off a cliff when I hear that. It takes me back to like 2015.
People say
Tumblr.
spoopy all the time.
Not in this age.
They still do.
No.
Yeah,
That reminds me of 2015.
they still say it.
I don't. Parzival Fusto says, "Hiyo, Professor."
Hi.
Anakim said it's a software engineering company. I really like the company.
Cool.
That's
Congratulations.
super
Are they paying you money or are you working for free?
cute. Are you being exploited?
That's what we want to know.
Are the capitalists exploiting you?
I can spell.
I should be choosing these names. That's how they stay organized proper.
No, that's how I get them later and go like, what? And then I have to sound it out phonetically, and then I'm still like, what?
No, I don't recall. Listen, I burned myself with a curling iron and then I scratched it on accident.
Your hair's not even curled.
It was 2 days ago.
Oh.
My parents came to see me.
Oh. And you did your hair up nice?
Parzival says, okay, bye, I'm leaving.
Why?
I don't know. They heard about burns and they got scared. You can't handle the truth.
Look, we got an inside view and an outside view.
Looks like a Dorito.
It does look like a Dorito. That is a good observation.
Spoopy is said especially on Twitch.
See?
I've gotta tell you,
Ooh, that looks good. It looks like a snack. It looks more like the puffed Dorito.
Like a snack, like an SNACC snack.
I don't speak that language.
Girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. That's iconic. Anakin says, I effed up today actually. I overslept and got 10 minutes late to a meeting. Emailed them right away and rescheduled it to tomorrow, and I think it's going to be paid.
Okay, good.
That seems like something that you'd like figure out pretty early on. Or maybe they keep it secret so it's like a fun little surprise. I've never had an internship, so I can't confirm or deny. My little leg has gone to sleep, and I need it for sleeping.
Your leg has gone to sleep?
My leg is asleep, I need it for walking. Dorito man, Dorito man.
We were really zoomed in for a second there.
Yeah.
Do you see this thing back here?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Oh, God. Yes, I do. I do. I forget the word, though. It just starts with an R.
Yes.
It's not a ring of fortune, is it?
It is.
Oh, my God!
Look, you didn't forget everything.
Can you guys imagine? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
You did not forget everything that you learned. That is crazy.
I don't even think I got the phrase.
I don't know if you did or not.
I just see you, like, looking like...
You were kind of creeping up on me, like...
You, again, watching those old Halloween things,
Mm-hmm.
that was terrifying.
It was terrifying?
Yeah, the little bird business.
It was my costume.
Yeah. Those look like computer ports.
Plug yourself in. Let's see what happens.
That sounds like a threat. It was like, see what happens. You play that loud music late at night. I'll call the HOA. Like microphone, MIDI, or keyboard.
F around and find out. Like that?
Yeah.
This is, what is this one? Triceratium? Is Pacific Plankton still in the channel?
She is. She says she's hungry.
This make her think of Doritos?
Yeah.
And then she got hungry?
Yeah. Anakim says, why
For
is
some reason I don't see her as eating Doritos.
Oh, I guess I came into frame for a second.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Anakim, hi. Disrespect me again by trying to turn the situation on me? Yeah, anyway, he says, how come it's hollow?
The diatom cell is inside.
Yeah. That's where the baby is.
That's where the cell, that's the inside of the cell.
See,
Normally it would have all kinds of cellular material in there, but Pacific Plankton killed it when she sent it to us.
Well...
And then Mallory destroyed all of the stuff in the inside by putting acid in there and eating it out, you know, with the acid.
Yeah. I did that.
And then I came along innocently and stuck it in the SEM. I had nothing to do with any of that other
Then
stuff.
you sucked all of the air out, destroying any potential that it had for...
It was gone by the time I put it into a vacuum and sputter coated it with gold plating.
Any fragment of life, I made
Anything that
sure
was
to
left,
suck out.
anything that was left in there that might have been left over from that process, I was responsible for. But up to that point, I didn't do any of those other things.
Which of the triangular prismatic diatoms was this?
Triceratium, I think.
Yeah, Pacific said probably. She's creeping up on you to get within Dorito spitting range.
Yeah, she's gonna spit her Dorito food on me. That's a good observation. Except for she doesn't have Doritos.
I don't think I've ever eaten a Dorito in my entire life. Actually,
What?
that's entirely untrue. I've eaten one single Dorito and I decided I didn't like it and I never ate one again. They're not fantastic.
You're gonna ruin my Dorito sponsorship chances.
Really? Oh no. Wait a minute. I thought you were going for baked Lay's.
Well, aren't they owned by the same people? Or is that Frito? Frito is Frito-Lay's.
Frito is
Is
Lay's.
Doritos also Lay's?
I think yes. I'm not a Dorito expert.
You can't badmouth one product if you're gonna sponsor the other
I
product.
think. Well, let's see. Can I talk good about like? Well, I don't.
Why didn't you like baked Lay's?
I think they're gross. You need to turn
They're
Dr.
just
Mo
potatoes
on
with salt.
and trick Mallory into going on camera.
Oh, and she can talk as Dr. Mo?
Yeah, that's a good
We
idea.
would be both talking as Dr. Mo because they can't tell the difference between, me talking and her talking.
Wait, does it look like a voice editor? Or does it sound like you?
No, it's my voice. But it would also have your voice if you were on the talking to the same microphone.
I know. Then why would it not know my voice? I'd be different.
It can't tell.
Oh.
It just hears noises.
And then opens its mouth and it's like, hello.
When I push the keyboard and it makes clickety-clack noises, sometimes its mouth opens to those.
Are there diatoms that look like cubes?
There are square diatoms, but they don't look like cubes. Well, that's not totally true. Some of them kind of look cubic. It's not a very common shape, though. More typically, they're rounded, or... I mean, they're prisms no matter what, right? So they're not usually that shape. What's this one?
They are so delayed. They just now got the Dorito insult. Some cryo
Oh, that's
SEM.
Stephanopixis.
Whoa, that looks like a basket, like a golf ball.
I think it looks more like a colander upside down, but I guess it looks like a golf ball a
I
little bit.
think that I don't believe in negativity, and anyone that says that I'm wrong is being negative.
I didn't say you were wrong.
But you said it's not a golf ball. And
No,
technically,
I didn't say it's not a golf ball, although it clearly is not a golf ball.
When I was a child, can I tell you something? Can I tell you something a little personal?
Are you just trying to change the topic?
No, this is related to colanders.
Okay.
I thought, like, the noise Hollander was fantastic. I was like, you know what, that'd be
The what?
great for a child's name. So, like, a name that I was like, well, if I ever have a child one day, I'm gonna name it Colander. Name it after a pan. What?
I mean, it's your right to name your kid whatever you want.
I don't think.
I feel like the kid would probably get made fun of quite a bit,
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
but it is kind of like Colin, and if they just went by Colin, nobody would know if their name was actually Colander. And also, Alexander and Colin pushed together would be Colander.
They're filling out their I-Step form. They're like, yeah, my name's Colander. The I-Step people think it's a joke. Cause like a whole drama. Anyway, so I burnt my neck with this curling iron, and I picked it off.
Oh, we're back to that.
Yeah, I picked it off, and I thought, because it hurts again, so I remembered it.
Okay.
I picked it off, and I thought I picked off
You picked off...
a mole. I thought I picked off a mole.
You picked the scab off of your...
On accident, yeah. I like flayed my skin.
You picked the scab off of your burnt skin.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about that on Twitch.
Yes.
I feel like we should definitely change the categories.
Are they okay? Are they gonna be okay with my flayed skin?
I mean, as long as you're not showing it to them, I'm sure.
How much longer am I gonna stay? I have an entire essay to write because I put it off.
You have an essay to write?
Oh yeah.
What's it for?
It's 1,000 words, but I can pump that out of
That's 3 pages.
Huh?
3 pages.
Oh yeah.
So that's easy.
Yeah, easy money. It's about, well, I will find out when I go read the prompt later tonight, probably.
You still
at
haven't read the
10
prompt?
PM. It's something about John Maynard Keynes and the Green New Deal and what his opinion on that would be.
Oh.
If I were to presume based on his writings thus far.
SEM keeps freezing. It's doing it again.
It's freezing. That's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Well, it's the computer.
Yeah, this is freezing now too. What if my phone is sucking all of the bandwidth? Every time I get on my phone, that's when it freezes. Can you imagine?
I don't think that's the case.
I know.
What does it say? Yeah, we're doing alright.
Jeff, if you had to name a child after a diatom, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Asteric Estrada!
Eric Estrada?
Eric Estrada.
If I had to name a child after a diatom. Well, I know which ones it wouldn't be.
What would it not be?
Well, anything that's like, you know, Antimonese, Diplonese, anything with a niece in it, those are all... That's not a good name.
You don't like the name Anise?
A
I definitely knew
nominees,
like multiple people named Anise.
but like a nominees?
Phenomena.
See?
Ba ba ba.
This is a silica flagellate. It's not a diatom, but we're
Anna-
gonna take its picture anyway.
Anakim, how old are you?
I'm
You're
trying to think of like a pretty name. There's many diatoms with pretty names, so...
Just Stella. That sounds like a disease.
Stella?
Stella.
Disco Stella is just Stella with the word disco in front of it.
Disco Stella. Disco Stella. Can I call you Jeff, or do you prefer Jeffrey, really?
I don't care. As long as I know you're talking about me.
What Zoom are we at here?
The magnification is listed on the right-hand side. What's my right? I don't know if it's right for you guys.
It's on the left.
Left-hand side.
To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left. Hanea.
Hanea's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good name. That's already somebody's
Celophora.
name.
Celophora, I like.
Celophora?
Tabularia.
No. Sinedra would be a good one. That's a pretty name.
Thalassiosyra. Sororella.
Sororella? Then nobody would be able to say it.
Ooh, Calanice if it's a boy.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
Eunosha. Why did I say
No,
Eunosha?
not Eunosha.
What? Hey, what's the name? Is Madeline undergrad?
Yep.
Don't. My delayed response. It's like if people ask my birthday and I just forget I exist or that I've ever been born.
Yeah, this is Dictyoka.
I'm an undergrad.
What
Yeah.
Zoom are we at? Yeah, it's 8,000 times right now.
I'll be a senior next year. That's unfortunate.
Then you'll be gone.
Isn't that crazy?
It's not crazy. I've been expecting it all along.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't think I'd just live here for my whole life? Wait, what if instead of going on to grad school or instead of getting a job, I live under the counter in the lab?
Which counter?
The counter.
Which counter?
The one that I currently have. What if I never left my office?
I didn't know if you meant like countertop or like clickety counter.
Can I,
You don't know the difference between 22 or 23 in your own age, Anakin?
D speculum, maybe.
Yeah. I'm gonna trust Pacific Plankton's ID on this one because I don't do silica flagellates, but what was that? A cheer?
Keanu Reeves gave us diamonds. Oh, he cheered 31 bits.
Speculum. Do you know I added new cheer emote thingies? I thought you said Keanu.
Keanu Reeves?
That says make you.
No. You know what the greatest response to people saying things is? Just no. What are they gonna say back if I just keep saying no, I don't think so? You can't argue with someone who won't argue, you know?
No.
Seeing the SEM makes me want to code a ray tracer so bad.
A ray tracer? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is? It's like Tracer On?
I think it's good.
I think they made a Disney movie about that guy. Look, it's another one.
Where ambiance doesn't count, LOL, like wind.
Look at this. Look at this, Pacific. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. We found a 6 and a 7, and it's right next to a 3.
I'm looking grimy today.
You look grungy.
I'm a little... Wait! You're supposed to say, no, you look perfectly normal, and like you always do, and then I'll feel bad.
You'll feel bad for looking perfectly normal?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean grungy like dirty. I meant grungy like straight out of the 90s.
Really? Thank you. I need to wash my shoes.
Like you got flannel on.
That's all I needed.
That's pretty much all you need.
That's weird. And I got my little crystal, so it's almost like I'm in the 70s.
I mean, it's healing you, right?
Yeah, I feel healed. I feel a lot like 22.
You feel 22?
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Did they get a cheer badge? Oh, they got one that just says Bits Leader. I guess because
I got an ad
they're a
for
Bits
Capital
Leader.
One. What's up with that? I don't know who that is.
Capital One is a bank.
You know what? Since they did a positive ad for themselves, can I do a negative ad for them right now in this moment out loud?
Yeah,
Don't do Capital One. I don't know what it does, but
they're a bank.
yeah, well, don't do it.
How do you not know that they're a bank?
Anyway, apparently someone can't spell lemon.
Really?
I guess. Anakim said lemon, but he put lemon. Lemon. Lemon.
Limon?
Lemon.
With like an apostrophe?
No, there's just two M's.
Oh,
What would two M's do to change the
nothing.
is that an opinion that you hold, or is that like a fact?
Well, normally if you have two M's together, the vowels become soft vowels instead of hard vowels. Like later.
Limon.
later, ladder. You see?
But like it's already soft.
I know, incorrectly. Lemon's one of those words like robin.
How would you say?
Like if you look at the
What do
word
you
robin,
mean
it looks like
correct?
it's robin,
I
right?
took a language acquisition course this semester. How old is Mal? I am 21 years old.
You know what I mean?
No.
Look at the word robot. Do we say rabbit? No,
Some
we say
people do.
robot, robin. Same number of letters, but we say robin. But robin and bobbin, bobbin has two B's in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Some words are just messed up, and lemon is one of them.
but you can tell the difference between them, and you know it.
Lemon should be lemon.
No.
Yeah,
Younger than my teeth. Pacific Plankton, you said that twice now. I think thrice, maybe.
younger than her what?
Pacific Plankton says that I'm younger than my teeth, and I want a bit of I want some background on that.
Younger than your teeth.
Younger than my teeth.
Teeth?
Teeth.
Her teeth or your teeth?
My teeth.
I mean, because you're definitely younger than her teeth.
I was born. No, my teeth. I was born after my teeth, so I guess, like, my teeth were already up in my gums, I guess.
Your
Have
teeth
you
were
seen-
in there.
Have you seen a newborn skull?
The
like
te-
a
with the
picture,
teeth,
not in person.
the teeth inside their skull.
Yeah, that's not right. I don't know who thought that up, but that's an argument against intelligent design. Because that's scary as hell. Her feet sure look 87. Anakin,
Oh man, he's back on your feet.
he's back on it. I'm opening up a tab to the,
Report to Twitch.
yes.
Oh look, I got these two Actinopithecus on here, and then I snuck in this thing right here, which is Stereonolopsis piece.
Newborn skull.
Actinopithecus 2. That's a 7 and a 3.
Yeah, let me see those teeth. And you know what? Their old people teeth are ugly too, so what's up with that?
What did you just say?
The babies, their old people teeth are ugly.
Oh, okay. I thought you said old people's teeth are ugly, and I was like, I think I should be offended.
No,
I mean, maybe my teeth are ugly. I don't know.
I don't think. Oh, that one has ugly baby teeth too. I'm just gonna roast these babies. Baby roast. Baby roast 2021.
Oh, it's jumping around. It's not completely attached to the substrate.
Or they have milk teeth.
Yeah, they have milk teeth.
English is just a dumb language. Mind of a snail. I was just about to recount the history of your
Wait, they've got a
people.
thing. It's just snail, with an exclamation
Why
point.
don't I have one that's just Mallory, and then it's just an
'Cause you haven't
it's
been
just
on
a
the
biography
stream?
about me.
You haven't been on the stream, so there's
Well-
been no purpose for it, and it would be a little weird for me to do it if you're not here regularly, because then it would just be like me typing Mallory for no reason.
No.
Look
Just
at
like-
this. You know what this is? You know what that is?
That's a crustacea.
No.
Hold on. Allow me to guess. Is that an egg of sorts?
No.
Is it... Can I have a hint?
It's a word you don't like.
Oh, is it poop?
Yeah.
Of what?
Well, I don't know what made it, but look, it's all composed of diatoms.
That's gross.
It's poopy diatoms. It's a poop stream.
You cheated me into... I saw your I'm hungry as Mal is talking about baby schools. Yeah, there's a delay. Don't worry about it. No, you cheated me into talking about your feet. That's not fair.
You cheated him?
I guess.
Okay.
Wait, is it okay I keep saying Mal instead of Mallory? I do not have an opinion on that. When I was a child... No, when I was a teenager...
Oh boy.
Even worse.
Oh, back last year when I was a teenager.
First of all, it was 2 years ago now. I'm an adult now.
Back when my teeth were pretty.
What am I thinking of? Oh yeah, I don't know, for some reason after sophomore year, or in the middle of sophomore year of high school, I was like, what if I just made a bunch of friends and completely like changed my entire personality for no reason? And then I did it, and then I got people who like would call me Mal all the time, after I'd never had a nickname for my entire life. And it like stuck for 2 years, and then I went to college and no one called me that. And I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. That's the whole story.
That was a
anyways,
good
you can
one.
Call me what you want.
We're going to go look at the next stub, which is going to have some of the material, but unprocessed. Same sample. No nitric acid solution added to it. And one of the advantages of this is we can look at things in their life position. And what's cool about that is if you look down here in the middle of the screen, here's all these Chaetoceros, and all the valves are still together in their chains. And in fact, all the chains all over the place are still hooked together. And there's a really cool giant tintinid right here. And I don't know what this is, but it looks like maybe... Ooh.
Pacific also said that it was maybe a larvation made it.
Dinoflagellate, maybe? A larvation? Poop?
Made the poop, yeah.
Look at this, though. Look at that Stephanopixis chain. Isn't that awesome? It's like somebody stuck a bunch of Epcot centers together.
Oddly specific, but okay.
I mean, that's what Epcot Center looks like.
You know, last time I saw, you know what, I thought Epcot, the big Epcot ball, I don't know what I thought was gonna go on inside of it, but
Thought it would be more fun.
yeah, it's really just a slow moving. Like, I don't know what I expected. Igor, another Igor.
There's another Igor in the channel.
Anakim said, good story now.
Good news, everyone.
What is this? Is this a dinoflagellate? What's Pacific think this thing is?
Well, there's like a really long delay.
I'm gonna leave it here, and then she can tell us, because I want to get a picture of the thing that's back behind it anyway.
Do the Triceratops break up easily when you digest the sample?
It's Katasaurus.
I'm never gonna get it.
Ketasaurus.
No, it doesn't look like that though.
It does.
Key. But do they break up easily when you digest the sample?
They fall apart in the chains, and individual diatoms will fall apart when you digest the sample, or when Mallory will. So, like, these bits that are here, there's a little bit of organic matter that's kind of holding the chain together. And when you digest it, they fall apart. But also these pieces that are being held together in the girdle bands usually also will fall apart. So the whole thing kind of falls apart. The diatom pieces will stay. The individual valves will stay. But they fall apart for sure.
Geodesic domes. Pacific has no idea what that
I
is.
see that.
I'm helping.
Your helper?
I'm helping. A creepy little snake. I still have newborn skull teeth open in a tab on my computer. I'm gonna get rid of that now.
Maybe an empty egg. So if I start at 2 p.m. my time,
Yes.
which is when we did,
Yes.
and now it's 3:30.
Yes.
Usually Pacific Plankton gets her lunch, like at 3.
Really?
Because that's noon.
Yeah. Can you just make a little sandwich and sit down and eat it while you watch?
I mean, she also helps feed her family. So.
Oh yeah, she makes
Someone had made cinnamon rolls for us today.
It was Laura.
And Carlin made me cinnamon rolls yesterday.
No one made me some rolls yesterday. Oh my god.
We had an extra one. I ate 2 of them as a result. You could have came over.
I reserve the weekends for mistakes.
Well, then
Not-
don't
not-
come over my house then.
Not that I don't make them every other day of the week, but I want to make special time for them.
I was going to have an end of the semester party.
But why not? Why didn't you?
No buts.
Oh. I thought you were going to continue.
Yeah, probably no plates on it, so I'm not sure what that is.
Got to see who all gets vaccinated.
Yeah, that's why the Odentella valve was. We should find some chains of them together here, Freya. I think the polygonal shape is partly because the vacuum pressures cause it to collapse. I've been streaming for 1 hour and 18 minutes. Look at all the commands I have now on my bot.
That's too many. Where can I find a list?
Scroll down.
Gosh, feel good. Gosh, feel great. I feel so fine. Hope you can't relate.
She's gonna eat real food, not Doritos.
Why the schedule change?
Because I do stuff on the weekends now.
You
and
do? Are you gonna go hiking and stuff all summer?
I mean, I don't know, but I'm here all day.
That's fair.
You don't like cinnamon? That's it, Luke. We can't be friends anymore.
You get out of here. Leave.
First you
no.
got that weird thing about feet, and now you don't like cinnamon, so that's strike 2, buddy.
One more strike. You got one more. You know what I found? That I used to want to comment on the weekends all the time and stuff like that. But now I found that if I don't take a day off from school or work, I will actually go insane. I will go crazy, like feral. Like a little animal. Like a bird or something.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
This weekend I did no work.
Really? Nice.
And usually I work all weekend long. And for 15 weeks in a row, I did not take a day off. I worked every single day, Saturdays and Sundays, on my job.
See, that's not good. Because you don't even get paid for all that extra.
I do not get paid extra for the extra work.
See, I became disenchanted with the idea of grind culture.
I'm not trying.
I know you're
It's
not.
all I had. It's the only way I could manage everything.
Oh, Dangling's here. Dangling, I heard a betrayal earlier.
Yeah, I told her you wanted her out. Now she knows. She's also talking trash about you though. So
didn't
go
talk
back and
trash.
watch. Go back and
No.
watch the earlier part of the stream,
I didn't
Dangling.
talk trash. I just said mukbangs are disgusting, and if you watch them, they are still disgusting.
See? She's talking trash. Oh, here's some. Look, right here. There's a giant one right there. And it's together, the whole cell. For Freya. That Odontel. Look at how big that one is. It's like monster sized. It's like a Batman plane or something. Look at it.
You mean the Batmobile?
No, the plane.
He has a plane?
Yeah.
Does he just ride around on like a giant boomerang?
He's got all kinds of like vehicles.
Can you imagine like he like runs across it and like flings it through the air? It's a boomerang. It's the Batarang.
He has all kinds of vehicles. He's got like a motorcycle. He's got a car. He's got a tank. He's got a plane.
Hiking is awesome.
His plane also goes underwater, so it's like part plane, part submarine.
I watched a video.
He's
of
got
a
gadgets,
car
that's his
driving
thing.
underwater. It's been like a year. It hasn't been a year. It has been a month or several.
Oh, look at this one
I
dangling.
actually don't know.
Is she still here? Did she go eat?
She's still here,
Okay.
I think. We're
It's,
frozen.
it's
so.
the other one. Are we frozen?
A little.
For everybody or just you?
I don't know. You froze for a second. I'm making a face like. That was fun.
I'm trying to make weird faces so that when it freezes, it stays that way.
Why does the audio keep going out? Stop.
Who said that? Who said that?
Breaded shrimp did.
Oh.
Twitch is having troubles today.
We're trying to blame it on Twitch. We started blaming it on Mallory, and then,
I'm blameless. I've never done anything wrong. My stream is buffering a lot. Don't know about anyone else.
it's doing it again. Yeah, because
Whoa,
on my
this
end.
is crazy. Look at this. Oh no, it's already stopped. It was like went to a play button and it was like disappearing and disappearing. It was great.
Yeah. You get an F.
F in the chat.
Yeah.
Press F to pay respects.
Oh, this is really cool.
I got
It's got a tube.
another ad for Capital One, and may I just say,
Think of all the extra advertisement I'm bringing in.
yeah, I just want to say, hey, Capital One, don't go there.
Oh, it
I'm
looks
going
like it's
to-
all the way back at that still.
Yeah. Ruh-roh.
Maybe it will jump ahead.
Anna Kim said, I like to sing when there's nobody home. Anna Kim, that's regular and normal. Yeah, don't mind.
It's all in red. Bitrate's all in red.
Who's that?
Everybody's screen's frozen, I think. Like here, my kilobytes per second are at 4,000. Oh no, did she flip you off? She flipped you off. She gave you middle finger. Yeah, give her a timeout for that. Yeah, it's jumping all over the place, so. Do you know which one this is, Pacific? Is this Detenula or whatever it is? Detenula?
So is an Audentella cell comprised of 3 parts? They're way behind, I think. I don't know what's going on. I'm blacking out.
It freezes and unfreezes, Kael'thon.
Hey, Kilthon!
Also nice to see you.
I just hear Mallory read Dangling's comment and the audio stops.
Lithmodesmium, yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of. It's got really cool, like, bump pieces right here. And then you can see it's got a spine connecting it.
Twitch is having what my old boss used to say, women's troubles. What'd you say?
I don't think that's what it's having, but
That's what my boss used to say.
you had an old boss?
I did used to work other places.
Where
I
did you
know it
used to
seems
work
so.
besides in my lab?
It does not work there anymore. I mean, it does not exist anymore.
It does not work there anymore.
I
I'm like,
don't
are you
work there
talking about yourself in the whatever, in the second person? What is going on there? One does not work there anymore.
Yeah, the live thing says that it's really bad as of 9/8 all day today. So
Everybody's having problems. It's not just us. But we still only have the only people with an SEM, even if it's laggy. So sorry.
don't you feel good? Would you restart the stream? I really don't think that'll fix it since it's a Twitch-wide problem.
I can try.
Watch time. Mika has spent 5 days, 11 hours. Mika.
Look at all these tintinids. This is what happens when you don't process it. The tintinids stick around, as well as these cool chains you see everywhere. Well, whenever you get around to seeing them.
Watch time. I have spent 3 days. Wait, why has Mika watched more than I have? By multiple days. Mika, #1 fan. He is always there.
Well, I mean, I gave him moderator status.
Mallory has a 2 times multiplier. I can't read.
You can't?
I can't, like, my brain is not comprehending the words that are coming off my screen.
Should I stop it and restart it or not? Or does it seem like
You're-
it's running?
You're, like, running now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to do that if it's
And
working.
you're not that behind, I don't think, anymore.
Okay. I'm going to zoom in and look at this, this cheer, tintinid. Let's see if we can find any tintinids with diatoms in them. Those are always the best. If your tintinid doesn't have diatoms in it, you need new Christmas lights.
Yeah, it's a little behind, but it's not a lot.
It's usually like 20 seconds behind anyway. That didn't have any diatoms, but they're huge. They're all really huge tintinids. This one just has diatom fragments. You can see them here and here. Actually, that might be a whole diatom. See the diatom fragments? They're very clear when you zoom in.
That's like a little scab. Tintinids.
Tintinids, yeah. Tintinids.
Chim shimmery, chim shimmery, chim shimmery.
And this thing is kind of curious. Oh, it's a super wide one.
Hey, Pacific beat us out.
With
We won
what?
By 6 days.
Oh, she beat you out.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's gonna say like. Does it come back with a watch time for mine?
I assume.
Just has an infinity symbol.
It's like all of them.
There you go. I've only had 10
Spent
days.
10 days. Breaded shrimp has spent 19 hours, 10 minutes. I still beat breaded shrimp.
So there was 4 days worth of material that I've, you know, posted that Pacific hasn't seen. Well, not live anyway. That's a lot of time on the SEM streaming.
Nothing else is happening in the chat.
No?
No.
They're probably just so relieved that it started working again.
Yeah, no one's saying anything.
What is this
Least
thing?
of all me. Huh?
Lumpy, weird thing. You know, whenever we go to the samples that are just barely processed and we find something like this, I'm just like,
I processed it for 2 hours. She was boiling.
This one isn't processed though.
Oh,
This
that
is
was JK.
unprocessed.
Good thing I was just JKing.
I don't know what that is. It was something living, and now it's just...
Read this out loud, please. I want to time the audio lag.
Are you reading what they asked you to read out loud?
Yeah.
Oh look, what's this? What's this?
I know it's really bad.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7. We've seen a lot of these, and we almost never see the 7s. It's a 7 and an 8. You know, I think I just need to get a nice close-in picture of it. It's out here on its own, minding its own business, minding its own snail. And then I can make a new emote.
Why does it say I've only been following you for 5 months?
Because you unfollowed me and followed me again one time.
Oh yeah, because I wanted my name to show up.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I remember it fondly.
I'm comparable to Pacific Plankton, so I've been here for 9 months. I don't care what the timer says.
What are you looking at?
5 months.
Oh,
Yeah,
everybody's
hopefully.
checking how long that they've been following me for?
Lumpy, weird thing. That's how far back they are. At that weird unidentified thing.
That's a ways back.
That's ways back. Micah's timing it.
Oh,
I don't know how. Mindo Snail says, really, what is time? Everything.
it's a good question.
What did you have? How much does an SEM cost? $3. Well, at least 3. Yeah.
Our SCM cost us about $160,000. We saved up our money though. Mallory and I pooled all of our money together and we
Yeah.
bought it.
I put my 401k into this, so this better work out.
We had a yard sale. Several actually. And
This is the only outfits we have. We live outside.
we sold the yard, is what I'm saying.
We sold many yards.
We sold all of the yards, and we bought ourselves an SEM. My ice has melted. This is looking good. I think it looks like a new emote. Just needs some color. Some false color. Seven-leaf clover, yeah. Mr. Gobo. This is Actinopticus. Actinopticus. That's the genus. It is a diatom. And it was collected from the plankton of San Francisco Bay by Pacific Plankton. And she shipped it to me.
Read this out loud, please. Oh God, I can't read. Oh no. Oh no, I can't. I'm falling. No. What does that say? Dangling is.
The lag behind the audio and the CC, yeah, I bet it's probably pretty big because the CC is going to give you like live information.
Whoa! It's the Star Wars introduction. That's incredible.
This.
It's like hieroglyphics.
I wanted to point out, Mallory said earlier she was illiterate, so asking her to read things is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, the last word is too long. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Did you see what she sent?
It said, dangling is a somi.
Yeah, Asomi. Who's this? Is that your real name, Asomi?
A somi?
Must have been some nice yards. They're all the way back in the yard sale. Dude, this is time travel. Wait,
Yeah.
did we just confirm time travel?
We're always ahead of everybody anyway because we're on the East Coast. You know? Mind of a
We're not
Snail,
on the
Pacific
East Coast. We're in
Plankton.
the Midwest.
Time-wise, we're on the East Coast, though.
Money flies.
If we went 8 miles to the west, we would be in the center part of the U.S., but we're on the East Coast. That's how time works.
That's true. Well, yeah.
It's what they call timey-wimey.
Wibbly wobbly, timely one. I'm getting a Doctor Who tattoo.
We've been doing geocache. You know what
Yeah.
that is?
Yeah.
Have you ever done them?
I've never done one, but I know that they exist.
There is a geocache for Dobbs Park, and Doctor Who is the clues.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bunch of Doctor Who's.
Did you solve it?
We did.
Did you ever watch Doctor Who?
I grew up on Doctor Who. What are you talking about?
Did you watch the newer ones, though?
Yeah, I watched all the new ones.
Yeah. Which is your favorite Doctor? The
Um,
new ones. I didn't
of the new ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like all of them a little bit. I didn't like the most recent one. I like the lady doctor though.
She is the most recent one.
No, I mean the one before that.
Oh, Louis Capaldi.
Yeah. He kind of grew on me, but I didn't like him quite as much. He wasn't as personable.
Peter Capaldi. Who is
Peter.
Louis Capaldi?
Yeah, Peter.
Is that a singer? That is a singer-songwriter. A Scottish singer-songwriter, not what I got.
I don't know. I kind of liked all of them a little bit. Matt Smith was good, and nobody liked Christopher Eccleston, but Carlin really did.
It was okay. I liked Peter Capaldi, actually.
You did?
If I get a tattoo of that, I would be getting a quote from him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was.
You're getting a Doctor Who tattoo?
Maybe. I got one already, and it was in like.
You got one Doctor Who tattoo already?
No, I got some flowers on my ribs, and.
That's it's very pedestrian of you.
Thank you. Pedestrian. You can call me a basic B word.
Tattoos of flowers. That's very pedestrian.
Thank you. They're poppies. No special meaning. I just saw the flower and liked it, and then found out what they were after I got them permanently
Oh, yeah.
on my skin.
Oh yeah. We all know what poppies mean.
Poppies mean death, apparently, actually. So there's that.
Also, they are the source of opium. So.
I was literally about to make a terrible statement. I was gonna say I'm addicted to. Anyway, Freya's Fury says they like Tennant. You like David Tennant?
David Tennant was good.
I haven't seen the newest one. Okay, listen, I had high hopes for the female Doctor because I liked her first couple episodes. What?
Woman Doctor.
What? Oh yeah, wait, I had this argument. Okay, the first woman Doctor Who. I had high hopes for her because I liked the first few episodes, but I didn't like how much they. I mean, it's kind of been trending towards this, but they started to emphasize more of the growth of the side characters, and she's just like a permanent, like, constantly fun and bubbly character. I don't know. I like when they develop on the Doctor more, so that's why I didn't like it.
She has a lot of sidekicks.
Yeah, a lot of sidekicks. Not that the sidekicks, because I mean Doctor Who always focuses a fair amount on the sidekicks, but also they usually focus on the growth of the Doctor, and I feel like they've gone away from that. They started doing that with Clara. I feel like, especially with Clara, but the whole trend towards that I think started with everyone's obsession with Rose.
Yeah.
Like obsessed with Rose and the Doctor's relationship, and I wish they Freya's Fury likes Eccleston. So
I mean,
yeah.
I liked all the new ones.
I had high hopes for the woman doctor.
She hasn't lived up to it though.
She did not live up to it. I'm sorry to say.
But not for her own reasons though. It sounds like
I
just
mean,
from the writing.
Obviously, it's never the actor's fault unless it's like bad acting. But don't they have new writers anyway?
Yeah, I think they, when they sort of rebooted it or whatever,
I liked
like
Peter.
David Tennant,
I
after
liked-
after David Tennant. I think
David
they're.
Tennant was the last one that I feel like was stuck to like the I don't know.
I mean, they all start off kind of like, I don't know, you're so used to one of the doctors, and then, I mean, the most recent one before that person, and then so you kind of get used to the way that they do it, and then when they
Peter
switch
Capaldi
it.
didn't stay for long.
I mean, he was there longer than Eccleston, right?
But
I
not-
think he only had one season.
But not Matt Smith and.
No,
David
Matt
Tennant.
Smith and Dave Tennant went on for a really long time.
I don't know. I liked the development of David Tennant and Matt Smith, and I liked Peter Capaldi. Especially, I liked when he was in that like prison where he got looped around over and over again. I loved that episode.
It's a tinted, but like the middle part, the top part's been pushed in. Wheel. Let's go through the middle and see what we can find.
Oh, Captain Jack. Yeah, his spin-off. What was that called?
They were.
It was the
Torchwood,
yeah.
which sort of focused on him.
Captain Jack. Who? Someone time Mika out. I'm not timing Mika out.
Oh, she wanted me to add a thing where you could like force people to get timed out.
I can do that right now.
Yeah,
I'll do
but
it
she
during
wanted
trip.
to do it
I'll
like you
practice.
could use your channel points to time somebody out.
I think that's like, isn't that like class warfare? People have more points.
Well,
We'll develop a bourgeoisie.
well, it's sort of like a way they could interact with the chat, right? They could use their channel to like. So people
everyone.
definitely do that. Who is our follow?
Mr. Gobo.
Mystic Oboe?
Mr. Gobo.
Oh, Mr. Gobo.
There was a great development of Tenet. Absolutely.
I really thought you said Mystic Oboe for a second, and I was like, that is a cool name, Mr. Gobo.
Mr. Snowglobe.
You should really consider changing your name to Mystic Oboe.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah,
Think about it.
think about it.
Something marinate a little.
You came to this channel for science, but you also got a recommendation for how to change your name. It sounds so close to Mystic Oboe, and that would be amazing.
But dude, I want to get. So there are like so many like tattoo ideas I have. They really mean it when they say you get one, and then you're like, oh wait, that wasn't that bad, and you're like, how about I just turn my entire body into like
Yeah.
the ballyhoo
When
bathroom?
I come back next year, it'll be like a sleeve.
No, I don't want. But
Mallory with the sleeve, and then
But-
she'll roll up her arm, she'll do her arm flexing thing, you know?
I guess I must be a trendsetter because now I'm a trend follower. But like everyone is getting a tattoo now. All the shops are booking for late June right now.
I think it's just because people couldn't go get tattoos. It's like everything else they couldn't do. All right, let's spin over and look at samples from the following. These are from Thursday of the. Is it Thursday of last week?
The 22nd would be. No, let me do it. Let me
Oh
do it.
no,
Let me do it.
this
let me
is
do it.
Monday from.
2 weeks ago. This is go.
Oh, it's last Monday.
Oh yeah, 26. I know what
This
day
is
it
from last Monday. From Pacific Plankton's plankton tow that she collected from San Francisco Bay. So all those samples that we looked at for the first set were all from one tow. We made 2 stubs. Mallory made 2 stubs,
We made 2 stuff.
and from the processed material, and 1 from the unprocessed material, which was the last stub that we looked at. And this one is also processed, but I actually wanted to look at the unprocessed part first. So I think that was on 6, and I'm going to spin us around to it. And we'll be able to tell because everything will be in chains again, you know. Oh, there they are, so I did do it right.
Mr. Gobo says it's pronounced Mista Gobo.
Mista.
Commander Cheffard is here.
Hey.
Hope you're having a great day.
Thank you, Commander Chiffard.
I said thanks, King.
Okay.
I think they are so behind, it's not even funny. But also, I don't think the...
We left them behind.
Wait, do something with your hands. Nice.
This is not the diatom you were looking for.
See when that pops up. Now, Mika timed it, and it was 2 minutes.
2 minutes behind?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So we could stop streaming, take a 2-minute break,
Yeah.
and then turn it back on, and they'd be caught up.
They'd never know.
They would never know. There'd be a slight interruption in their broadcast.
I'm happy that my local ponds and lakes have thawed for a bit. I'm gonna go collect samples.
Who said that?
And see what I can find.
Who's collecting samples?
Commander Cheffard.
Excellent.
Mallory with the sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a few. But
A
not
few
whole
sleeves?
sleeve. I'm gonna grow an extra arm to get as many sleeves as possible.
How many sleeves are you going to have?
I want a moon right there.
A moon.
Yeah, and I want a
Oh.
bumblebee somewhere, and then...
That's a moon is also very pedestrian.
Thank you. That's okay.
Look, I
And
found
then
something. What is this thing I
want
found?
Some, there's like a proverb.
A Chinese proverb?
It's literally escaping my mind, so I look like...
You're
I'm
gonna get it like
freaking
here?
on my spine.
Oh, on your
the
spine,
top.
okay.
Either
That was-
that or a pulsar map.
Chinese characters on the lower back, I think it's really popular from like, you know, years ago.
Yeah. It was either that or a pulsar map on the top of my spine.
Pulsar.
Pulsar map. It's what they put on the little golden plates that they sent out on Voyager. Both the Voyagers. You know, when they said, oh, if aliens find this, they'll probably understand this, even though it's probably completely, looks like just, aliens are only gonna be like, what in the hell? Well, you find something special.
I found something pretty cool.
Oh.
Look at this thing.
Ah!
Oh, it's like, it's a Cimbella Mexicana or Cimbella something or other. It's got this centerpiece. And from a distance, it doesn't look all that exciting. Just like a banana. But
Let's go look at the grades of the people that I grade for.
look what happens when I zoom in. Look at those crazy pores. I mean, we got a super weird perspective because it's like... But, those are some alphabet pores right there. That's some crazy alphabets.
Well, you know what?
What?
I refuse to do discussion boards.
Isn't this why your grades weren't working out super well?
Ah.
I'm
yeah.
asking. I'm just asking.
No, I just calculated it now, so I'm actually not going to continue with this statement. Anyway.
I was just asking.
Look, doing bad is like a fun little experience. It's like a fun little surprise of me choosing not to do stuff because out of spite. Here's that.
That's the sound of your scholarship money going into the trash.
Actually, I calculated how bad I have to do to lose my scholarship money. I have to get a D in like every class I take for the rest of my schooling in order to drop below.
Is that your objective?
No, I have like A's in all of my other classes. It's just this one course you can like visibly see where I chose that I hated it.
Is this a class where you made comments that I think would require me to remove my family friendly tag?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the one class. If I signed up for an in-person course to meet 2 times a week, and he says, okay, we're gonna meet 1 time a week, and then you have to do all this outside work, I'll be like, well, guess what? I didn't sign up for a half online course. I didn't sign up for a hybrid course. I signed up for an in-person course. And I understand if that's what you need to do. Pero, that's not what I signed up for.
Commander Shafard's gonna look for tardigrades on a stick. That's a great idea.
Who is Anna? We haven't Anna out yet.
Wait, who is it?
Who is Anna?
What Anna?
I think they're talking about Anna.
What about Anna?
I don't know. They don't know who she is.
Is it it's Anna?
It's,
Yeah, it's a Cimbella for sure. Pacific Plankton. It belongs to the Mexicana group. It's either Cimbella mexicana or one of the varieties of Cimbella mexicana, and they do have pores that look just like that, alphabet pores. They look like crazy hieroglyphic characters instead of holes. So aliens be like, these designs are so pedestrian. Exactly, Kalathon. Exactly.
I just remembered Mallory knows some Spanish. Yes, Anna always asks to see the ends. Anna does ask to see the ends.
Well,
I like saying-
you didn't say anything about any of the ends.
They never said anything, but you just saw it the same time that I saw it.
I mean,
And
you
they've not seen
didn't.
it for
Anna
5 more
was here
minutes.
earlier, and she didn't say anything about the ends.
Anna didn't want to see the ends, unfortunately. This is such an incredible design. It's a little pedestrian to me. But anyway, for this like hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
I should get this down my spine.
Yeah, you should. Well, no, you shouldn't.
I'm thinking pulsar map.
No one will know what it is.
I just remembered. Yeah. Well, hear me out. I actually know Spanish. I'm awful at speaking it. I'm much better at writing it. And
It's the
reading
same way with English, though.
Yeah, no, that's right too. But my favorite thing is to imitate this one girl that I was in like a high school Spanish class with, and she did all of her Spanish speaking in an extremely American accent. So I'll say like pero, or I'll say mi llamo.
Me amo.
Mi llamo. Or my dad, he used to try and speak Spanish, and he'd say muy. I think it's funny. It's not, but I think it is, so it is.
Mooey.
Is it possible to get a color render? The sizes are larger than visible light wavelength? No.
The color
This is
for
not
everything that we do is me adding color in Photoshop or Lightroom or something like that. So the problem is that scanning electron microscopes don't use light at all. So without light, there's no color. We're using electrons to see. So there's no option where we can look at it in color. You know, the black and white is because it's just giving us how many electrons have hit the sensor basically at each point. And then when it draws it, are you okay?
Yeah, I've grown like an old person now.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because last time you were in here, I think you threw your laptop on the floor.
I did not toss it. I gently placed it upon the ground on accident, very loudly, and also I chipped off this piece.
It was like, you know, and then you didn't come back anymore after that. So I feel like
that was the tipping point for me.
it might have been.
Hieroglyphics, Henry Hook. What a name.
Oh, Henry Hook is here.
The hieroglyphics are a recipe for Krispy Kreme demo.
It could be.
Oddly specific.
It could be. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna head out soon.
Are you?
I am. I need to actually write this paper now that I've looked at my grade.
Okay.
No, I got plenty. I got 8 hours. That's like a 2-hour project.
You should probably go work on it if it's due,
Nah.
and you're struggling in the class.
Also, I was only gonna stay for 2 hours anyway.
You said 1 hour?
2 hours. It's been 2 hours. Been here since 2 p.m. It's
Yes.
4 p.m. now.
But when you originally came, you said you were staying for 1 hour.
Did I say that? I have literally no memory of walking in here. I feel like I just kind of like walked in here and then I stayed in here and that was it.
Well, it's because we're having so much fun.
Yeah. What is that noise? Oh God. No.
Okay. Mallory's on the floor.
You know, like when you completely forget, like, you lose control over your voice box and you just, like, make a noise. Anyone
I
else?
don't know that that's happened to me for
Anyone
maybe
else?
20 years or so.
Well, 41 people are gonna see that, so.
It's the right 41 people, though.
Actually, you know, I have to stay and just. I gotta see the.
You gotta see how this ends?
I gotta see the public,
Response?
just response to that, and then I'm probably gonna leave out of shame.
Aw.
I know the delay's like extreme, so. Luma Crew, hello. Who are you?
I don't
Mystic
know.
Oboe.
It's
Mystic
Mista.
Oboe. Yeah,
Mista.
we've decided to give you a new name, Mystic Oboe.
Oh, right.
Technically, we're making all the noises, right?
Yeah, sure.
Eller Becca is the plan.
Yeah, that was Ellerbeckia that we were looking at. Was that Pacific that called that one out?
Yes, a bit ago.
Just to tell him,
Making
these
all
are
those.
all like Thalassocyra and Cosinodiscus. We see a lot of these things. That's why I'm sort of skipping over them. But I'm gonna go look at them on the clean version now. Just wanted to see what was here in the unprocessed, because I thought maybe there would be some cool dinoflagellates, but there never is. So we need a sample that's got way more dinoflagellates in order for me to find some, probably. But we could go look at some of this stuff.
Take no call back, girl. No, back, girl.
I don't know what you're singing.
Please, I've been around that track since I was going on nothing like that. That's just probably fine. Take no call back, girl.
You're not a holler back girl?
I've been trying to decipher the meaning of Hollaback Girl for the last 21 years of my life, or whenever it was released.
Okay.
That's my field of study.
I mean,
I was lying about the space snail stuff. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. I actually
I
studied.
feel like you could make that into a thesis
Really?
for grad school.
My honors college thesis, I should write about Hollaback Girl. Hollaback Girl and the implications of. I don't even know. Hey, Hollaback Girl. I can't believe I gotta put on a mask with all these people with artifacts.
Yeah. You do.
Kind of forgot there was like a virus and all that.
I know. For a little bit there, things were almost normal.
That's true. Even though we've had to wear masks like for the entire time that the Twitch stream has like existed. So there's that. So actually against normal. Okay, I'm going. Goodbye, my friends. Have fun.
Good luck on your paper.
Thank you. I will get it done.
Okay, good. This is the this is a Stereonelopsis, I believe, and we're just looking at the part that connects together in chains, and so they have this sort of bell end, a big end, dumbbell end, where all the pieces sort of connect around in these, when they're living, connect around in these intricate colonies, and these are
Good news, everyone.
apical pore slots right here that we're looking at. And if you came for Mallory, she just left, unfortunately. But Mallory's a undergrad who does research in my lab, and she's entertaining. So I'm going to, I think maybe I want that part in focus right here. But I'm gonna see what happens, because it kind of makes all this stuff a little out of focus. But I think this is the most interesting part, which is the apical pore slots that are on here. And they seem to be in pretty good focus. So I'm going to set that as our photo. And then while that's taking a picture, I can come see what the chat says. So we're now into the portion of the SEM stream where I have to read chat myself. And maybe I'll be able to find a Simbella here that's processed as well. Thank you for following Chuck Diapa also. Holler back girl means you yell to the back grill to throw more food on. It does sound right, M9. There probably is some girls in the back who are grilling some food. It's got little feetsies, like dainty fingertips. Maybe. If you're interested in seeing the, my camera's just doing whatever it wants today. If you're interested in seeing the organisms in their life position, they create these really cool little spiraled shapes. You should check out Pacific Plankton stream. And here's the thing, it's Monday, and I'm streaming on Monday, and Pacific Plankton streams on Monday, just later in the day. So, a lot later in the day. But, the same day, 8 hours from now, you could see this diatom live on a light microscope with Pacific Plankton. You should check it out. And if you aren't following Pacific Plankton yet, you should. And I'll make it easy for you. You can just click that thing and click follow. So I can move this microphone closer to me. And now I'm louder. For better or worse. So there's probably still a slight delay. Twitch was having some sort of issues, or maybe our internet here was. But there's always a little bit of a delay. But I think it's longer than usual.
Hey, Mallory Salary.
Somebody subscribed. Henry Hook, thank you for the subscription. You know, all of the subscription money that comes in, I use to pay for students to do research on the SEM or the light microscope. So I don't take any of the money. I take it home as a taxable income, and then I use it to buy whatever supplies the students need in the lab. So your money is going directly towards Stereonelopsis. Stereonelopsis. This is the foot pole. Your money is going to support Mallory and other students who are working in my lab as they do work on the SEM and on the light microscopes in my lab. We do get support for them for a number of other ways, but it goes to that augment their research. So I get paid a salary, and I don't think the extra $100 or $200 or whatever that I get every couple of months is really something that I need to take home. So I made a decision very early on to donate all of the money to the students. And sometimes, like Mallory, they're hanging out in here and they're helping me with the stream. But when you don't see them, when they're not here in the channel, they do research in my lab. And Mallory is actually my lab technician, which means she spends a lot of time being forced to do whatever lab work I demand of her in order to get samples prepared, or to try to get samples ready for the SEM. And it makes my job a lot easier to have students like that doing work with me. And it's nice when we can also afford to, you know, just let them do interesting and fun research projects as well. It's an important part of them becoming better scientists and getting a real science experience. So, and I just heard a weird noise, which sounded like somebody cheering. Oh, it was Mind of a Snail cheering. Thank you for the bits. And you're supposed to be little bit badges that show up for people who give bits now. So hopefully that will show up for you. If you're going to be yammering up in my chat space, some rent is in order. Okay. I missed something back here. Who cleans their pores? I don't know. So this is a top view of one of these Odontella-like organisms. And this one's got the broccoli forest going on, sort of. It's got these weird little three-pointed spines sticking off of it. There we go. And I'm going to zoom out and take a picture of this guy. It's a little dirty. Also, these things that are out here on the sides are called ocelli and or pseudo-ocelli, depending on whether or not they have a silica boundary around them. This one definitely does. And I think maybe I need to fix the brightness and contrast on this one a little bit. Oh, no, I guess it looks okay. I guess it could also be better, though. When I switch over to the slower speed on the SEM, you'll actually see the quality of the image improve. So it goes from that sort of grainy, low-resolution image, which allows us to move around because it's redrawing the picture very quickly, to something where basically it's scanning with the intention of putting a picture together. So we slow down the speed settings on how fast it scans, which means we get a higher density of points coming back, which means our information is higher resolution. Also, I think for this picture, I can tilt it about 40 degrees, or rotate it about 40 degrees. Oh, that was about 80. I overdid it. I need it to be let's see, it was on 120. I need to be like 165. And you can see that the stage below is spinning around like crazy. Yeah. It's a pretty good guess. Let's see, I think maybe 170 to take it a little bit farther around. Nope, wrong way. 160 or 155. Or maybe 150 even. Yeah. So I was trying to get, no, it's more like 155. I'm trying to get the football to go from corner to corner, like that. So I can get a lot closer to it, because its shape is such that the round ones, I don't usually have to rotate it. They're the same no matter which way you look at them. But the ones that are kind of football shaped, we lose some of the magnification by being zoomed out. And I can rotate the stage and keep my sample in focus for the most part. I think it's going to look good. Hang on a second. So you can see all the detail in here. These little holes start to show up in these little holes are called porelli, or little hole, porelli, like a little tiny hole. And then these are the areolae here, and it's got interesting little spines on it. And also these little holes that are a little bit rounder are different. And very likely they are like the Rimoportula. That's probably the external expression of the Rimoportula for these. Would be my guess. Anyway, here's the ocelli, which are the end pieces. You can see they've got a hyaline area around them that separates them from the rest of the valve face. And they're sitting up on little platforms or elevations well above the surface. And in here, where it looks like sort of wavy, like if you look across this line, that's because the surface is actually undulate. So it's the surface itself is kind of wavy, and that's why it looks that way. Okay, this is a cool one, so I'm going to take that picture. Nice valve face of Odontella. Sorry, I'll come back here. You need to hot tub stream like other streamers with Diatoms. Well, I think it probably would be a funny hot tub stream. Have I seen any of the ones that cling to Catastrophes? I don't know what you mean. Cling to Catastrophes. Let's see. Henry Hook. I live in Boston Harbor. Actually took environmental science class. We went out in the harbor and brought back zooplankton to the lab. It was hooked. Hey, that's great. Are the more circular ones more common or rare? In the plankton, circular ones, or actually sort of drum-shaped usually, are much more common. The ones that are asymmetric, like this one, belong in the Bidulphiales group, and they're a little bit more unusual, at least in the samples that we see. Although, if you look at the total number of cells, it may actually balance out a little bit, because things like Catastrophes are not round, and there's a lot of them in a chain. But there's also a lot of Stephanodiscus in these, for examples, as well, and those are round ones. The populations vary throughout the year, but in deeper water, usually the rounder ones are more common. It looks like bone to you. Yeah, somewhat. Crocs trigger you. Crocodiles or just the shoes? The shoes, yeah. Okay. The life cycle is mind-boggling, yeah. Not Pirelli with an I, but with an O. So, like a pore and Pirelli. It just means, or sometimes they're just called pori. Little holes, basically. So pore just means like a hole that goes through, and then mola. These look so 3D printable. Oh, they would be. And I could probably render some this summer as a 3D model for us. If you're interested, I suppose I could give it a try for some of these. I'd want one that was a little bit cleaner. So this one has what I like to call junk all over the surface. So it would not be my optimal choice for Odontella from the valve face, but if it was completely clean, like free of junk, it would be one that I would definitely consider for that. Okay, I'm going to put it on 10, beam intensity 10 for a bit. Hopefully I won't forget, so we can see stuff when we're zoomed out a little farther. And then I'm going to see what else we can find in the sample from out here at junk drawer size and junk drawer magnification. And oh, there's a little bit of an isthmia right there. And not sure what this one is. That looks like poop. And that one there is Datillum. And this one is Thalassiocyra. So Thalassiocyra can be distinguished by the fact that it has a giant ring of a whole bunch of these little bright colored things down here, which are actually, if we start to zoom in on them, you'll see that they're actually a special structure called strutted process, and they get that name because these little things that stick out on the sides are called struts or satellite pores, and the closer we get, the more amazing they kind of look. So let's zoom in on them a little bit and take a look at them. And I switched us over to like a fool. I switched us over to beam intensity 10, and then I zoomed in on stuff. We really want to be back down into beam intensity 7 at least to sort of see these clearly. Also, you'll note that the little things in the background all turned into salt and pepper shakers, and I'm going to zoom in on one of them and try to fix my stigmation finally, because I've been messing around with it, but it hasn't been perfect yet. But we can get it there. It will make our image a little bit better. So I'm just doing some essentially micro focusing. Sort of a permanent adjustment to the micro focus. It's like putting glasses on for the microscope. And you can see how much clearer that actually makes that image. And I probably could get it even a little bit better. Just gonna try and see. We're in the range, we're getting close. The reason that seems kind of grainy, even though I'm sort of zoomed in, is again the beam intensity. So right now, we are at 210,000 times magnification. And I'm fussing over how good it looks. Just for clarity, I'm mad because I want to be able to get that just a little bit better than it is. And this instrument is designed to do magnifications. Oops, that's the beam intensity. It's designed to do magnifications at 100,000 times. So like the engineer when they were here is like, oh, can you get a picture at 100,000 times? And I was like, yeah. Not supposed to be taking pictures at 200,000 times with this instrument, but I feel like we could get a good picture. Like, that's not so bad for where we are. Actually, I zoomed back out to 118,000 times, so this is actually something we should be able to get on this instrument regularly. But these little salt and paper shaker heads are called cribra. They're covering over the pores on the diatoms valve face. And this thing down here that we're looking at is the strutted process, or photoportula. And these are mantophotoportula. You can see it's a hole with a little covering over the hole. And here's a hole with a little covering over the hole. And another one, right? So these are the satellite pores. And these little things that are coverings, just like cowlings that cover over the hole, and they're attached to the main hole that's on here. So now when I zoom out, if I slow down the beam a little bit, you can see all those holes in the background, as well as super clearly see the strutted processes, which is actually what I was trying to get in focus. So just for clarity. These trigger your tryptophobia. Yeah, well, people say that. You integrate your teaching. I do Professor Melko is rating? What? We got a Melko raid? Oh, you picked a good time, Professor Melko. You know what? Oh, and it's Sarah Hulkman. Sarah, hello. And Professor Melko. Do you know what I have for you, Melko? I've got a command on my bot. It's a Melko command. Boom. I have a Melko command on my bot. If you're not following Professor Melko, you should. Right now we're looking at diatoms from the Pacific. And this is plankton. And it's a sample that was sent to me by Pacific Plankton, who's here in the chat. When I zoom in, like real close, right now,
Good news, everyone.
we are at 100,000 times magnification. So a normal light microscope that you might use in a lab, that standard microscope has 1,000 times magnification. We have the power of 100,000 times magnification that we're looking at right here. So we're super zoomed in. This thing's very small. The scale bar at the bottom is in nanometers, and we are in less than 1 micron. We are in half nanometer is that scale right there. Your field of view right now is 2 microns across. There are 1,000 microns in a millimeter. So to give you some sense. And I was in here tweaking the focus because whenever I can, I do, to try to get the focus a little bit better. And this is a diatom right here. The little pore coverings that are right here are called cribra. These are satellite pores, or what are called photoportula, and strutted processes. This is the strut right here. That's why they get their name. And the little holes are the satellite pores. And I'm going to set that on speed 8, and we'll just take a picture like this because I worked so hard to get this to look good. And then I can come back and see what the chat's doing. So one of the problems with using the SEM, earlier I had my assistant Mallory here, and I have an undergrad student who sometimes hangs out in the chat with us and provides entertainment. But when I'm here by myself, I have to actually take a picture so I can talk to chat. Otherwise, I never get to see what they're saying because the SEM takes up my whole field of view. All right, so speed 8, that looks good. And our beam intensity on this one is 5, which is lower than normal. And speed 8 means it's going to be a 10-minute photo. So hang on, and it'll give me some time to chat. I can talk a little bit as a result. Okay, let's see. Hi, Sarah. Yeah, Twitch has been kind of laggy today, so if it seems like it slows down for a bit, please don't blame me. It's not my fault. Thank you for the follow, Smug Ernie. And yeah, how was your stream, Melka? Hopefully things are going well. You raised $500 for COVID India relief. Oh, that's amazing. I have friends, and also one of my students is Indian. One of my PhD students is Indian, and she's going back to India next week, or she's planning to. She's completely vaccinated, so we're not worried about her. Hopefully she gets there safely. But that's awesome. Thanks for your work trying to get money for COVID relief. That's a pretty good stream, bringing in $500. The first Melko command. I make commands for every streamers that come in here regularly. Oh, thank you for that, Sarah. What plankton are we looking at? This is Diatom from San Francisco Bay. And yeah, if you don't know what a diatom is, Pacific Plankton help you out there with the bot command. Pacific Plankton is another streamer. She streams from a light microscope, and she sent me some samples, which she does like once a month or once every 2 months or something, so that we can put them on the SEM and take a look at them. And so this is a diatom I've got a command for Pacific Plankton as well. I've got a command for Devil and Mrs. J too. Mrs. J, just like that. Streamers that come in, we try to take care of you here. So this is the internal view of a Thalassiocyra, which is a type of diatom that's found in freshwater and in the marine realm, but more commonly in sort of estuarian type settings or in marine settings, although they do totally occur in freshwater as well. And we're looking at this at, let's see, the magnification for this was something like 50,000 times when I backed out. The structures that you can see here are the cribra. These are little coverings that go over each of the holes, which are called areolae on diatoms. And then this thing here is the marginal photoportula, or mantle photoportula sometimes called, which is a type of specialized process that the Thalassiocyra have. And many of them use them to exude material to sort of create like a parachute that baffle their descent. Because if you're plankton, one of the things that's problematic for you is if you fall through the water column far enough that you get out of the light and you can't, generate food for yourself anymore. That usually means that they're going to die. So they build special structures basically to baffle their descent, and then also if there's sort of a lot of wave energy, it keeps them afloat. It's a mechanism for them to sort of modify their position in the water column in a positive way. And if they get to the point where they don't need the baffle anymore, oftentimes they'll just drop them and they'll make new ones later if needed. So it's sort of like a parachute that functions, parasail probably more likely, that can be used to pull them back up into the current, and then basically they can just release it and make a new one later on with enough nutrients. So diatoms are a type of algae, and just one aspect of the plankton, but we can look at them in the light microscope. You can see them in the light microscope, but if you really want to see this level of detail, if you want to see diatoms at spectacular resolution like this, you need a scanning electron microscope to do that, or a transmission electron microscope if you want to look through them. If you want to look at the surface topography like these, you need a scanning electron microscope. This is a tungsten SEM. It's a Tescan Vega 3, and it's in my lab, so one of my labs. I have another lab that's mostly microscopes and students, and then this lab that's basically just the SEM and lots of arm and leg room. So we have the sputter coater in here and the SEM, and then just a bunch of boards for us to tack stuff up, and plenty of space for people to sit. Sometimes I use it as a classroom to teach from. So the diatom is Thalassiocyra, and if you don't know what Thalassiocyra are, I have a command for that as well. Thalassiocyra. There you go. I think that works. Let me double check. Perfect. That webpage that it takes you to is Diatoms of North America, and I beat you to it. And they're a crowdsourced, science-based web page. They get their money from NSF, but contributors add the pages, so other diatomists basically put together and put in the work to contribute to the website. And then they have a review panel, so also scientists will review what people submit to it to see whether or not they will accept it. I've made some contributions to that webpage, including the glossary and a couple of species that I've added to the website. And I'll probably add some more this summer in order to put some species on there that I've described. But I've been using them as a primary link for the channel for any genera, if you want to know. The problem is that a lot of what we're looking at in this sample are marine-only genera, which means they don't occur in freshwater systems unless they're accidentally carried into them. And So the command hasn't been super useful today because that page has mostly got freshwater diatoms on it. But my friend Pacific Plankton and her friend are working on trying to get some marine taxa on the web page because it's mostly used by freshwater diatomists. Most of the contributions have been freshwater. It used to be Diatoms of the US, and then they expanded it to include Canada and Mexico as well, so changed the name. But they also expanded what they will house on the web page. But they really haven't put very much marine species on there yet. So for anybody who doesn't know, I'm a diatomist, and that just means I mostly focus on diatoms. But I work in freshwater as well. So these, so much lag, I will beat you no matter what. Well, normally there's enough lag, I can still beat you anyway. But I mostly look at freshwater diatoms. I use them to reconstruct paleosalinity and paleo depth and changes in water level, changes in stratification, changes in environmental quality. And we can do that because diatoms are sensitive to a very wide range of ecological parameters. And usually what happens is you get one diatom that will replace another type in an assemblage. So, you would see an assemblage full of these things and then an assemblage full of Stephanodiscus. I could tell you what the environment that those diatoms are most likely representing. So these would be sort of high alkalinity and relatively high salinity. And like a Stephanodiscus would probably be like freshwater, relatively high phosphorus, for example. So I don't know what you think we need to fix. Oh, getting the names on the database. I guess you're a little behind. Yeah. So I got this really nice picture. It took me a little while to collect it, so thanks everybody for being patient with that. And then I'm going to just Thalassiocyra. Sometimes I just take some time and take some nicer images because I spent all this time getting it into focus. And I'm going to zoom out, and in order to zoom out, I changed the beam intensity and the speed settings, and that means I also need to change the brightness a little bit. So there we go. So this is the organism we were looking at, the Thalassiocyra. As I mentioned, it's an internal view. This is a Thalassiocyra on the outside view, and I think that's the same species. I'm not positive, but I think that's the same one. And these are the little, a little row of external expressions of these things. So there's the internal view of them, and there's an external view. I think that's probably the same diatom. It's very common in these. This is a Datylum. It's another type of diatom that we find in these samples pretty regularly. It's got a bunch of junk on here, but it also has this really cool spine on the valve face right there. It's not really a spine. It's actually a external expression of the Rimoportula, but it has a triangular shape. And then there's this thing, this is Skeletonema. There's a whole bunch of really cool Thalassiocyra, and this thing over here is Casinodiscus and Actinopticus. So there's a wide range of diatoms that we see just every sample, pretty variable. These weird looking things that you see are Chaetoceros. That's a Skeletonema. And if you had stuck me on this slide and asked me what these things were as recently as last year, I'd have been like, because I don't study marine diatoms, but because Pacific Plankton's been sending them to me, I've been learning them. So it's a positive for me because I like to learn things. This crazy looking series of dots belong to Casinodiscus. This is an external view. And I was actually just zooming in because I wanted to see, sometimes the valve face has a whole bunch of little tiny, this one's been corroded off, but sometimes they have a whole bunch of little tiny coverings on the outside as well. You can see it's a little dissolved. If material's been laying around on the bottom of the bay for a bit and then gets picked up and carried back into the water column, it's still going to end up in a plankton toe, And as a result, it'll end up in these samples. So we can zoom in and look at some of this stuff now that we've got the stigmation set correctly. And this is Costinodiscus perifera. So it has a bunch of labiate processes on the valve face along with some of these areolae openings. And you can see them all over, sprinkled all over like little tiny mouths on the valve face. They also have some rheumoportula around the outside edge. So these ones that are around the outside edge are a little bit different. And then there's another one for all of these. It's called like a macrolabiate. It's this thing right here. And there's usually a couple of these on there as well, but they're a slightly different type of process than the other ones. We know that one pretty well because we've seen it a bunch. It's pretty common in Pacific Plankton samples, and I'm fascinated by it because it looks really cool in the SEM. So I do a lot of zooming in on that one. A lot of these round guys in here are the same species that, they're similar species, so I'm just kind of skimming over them. These are Chaetoceros, 2 different species. And then there's many different species of Chaetoceros in these samples. That's another common diatom that we find in here. And Chaetoceros is a chain-forming diatom that forms these long, intricate chains. Sometimes they're sort of spiraling shapes. I just thought maybe I could find a datillum that's not all got a bunch of junk on it. Here's an example of one. You can see the spines coming like right out at the screen at us. And then they have this sort of like eyelash like spines around the outside edge as well. All these little football and egg-shaped things are Chaetoceros. We saw one of these earlier. That's a Chaetoceros cyst. Looks like it's something busted out the side of it. And then these are all skeletonema, these things. And I'm going to zoom in maybe on one of the skeletonema so you can see the intricate nature of these as well, now that we've got the stigmation set pretty good. There we go. So what you see are a set of little spines that are kind of knuckled together, and they get their name skeletonema because these things look like skeletal bones, and then they have these very ornate structures on the valve face, and they live in long chains like these. So if you were looking for the individual diatom, it would be like this cell plus this cell, or this half of a cell plus this half of a cell. And that one belongs to this sister, and this one belongs to a sister, or the siblings that are basically on the margins of them. So I'm going to find something really quick here to take a picture of so I can kind of come back to chat and see what's going on. It's always this crazy looking Dairy Queen symbol looking one is Pleurosigma. And it has a raphe, which are the structure that's right here in the center that you can see. They look like really fine little antennas or something, but in fact they're little slots that go through the valve face all the way through, and they use these to crawl around on surfaces. And if you're wondering, do algae crawl? These ones do. Diatoms are one of the few types of algae that can change their position, but not all of them, only ones that have a raphe. And so that actually is a good clue for us, so that we know that we're looking at a diatom that must live attached to the bottom. It has to, because it has a raphe, and the only way it can use that tool to crawl around is if it's actually living on a surface. There's also like these guys. This is a pretty heavy-duty diatom. We're looking at the internal view. I think that's probably an Ellerbeckia. Again, it's got these little processes in here that if we zoomed in on them, those are rheumoportula. So they're little lip-shaped things or mouth-shaped things. And you can see how heavily silicified this thing is, or how thick the cell wall is compared to some of those others. Like, this is all the thickness of that cell wall, so probably uniform thickness all the way around. And then if you look carefully, you can see it has a the little pores with the coverings on them are here as well, the cribra coverings on the areolae. And those are the remiportula, all around the outside edge remiportula. And then there's this sort of like polygonal structure behind it. And there's a whole set of those basically that are around the entire valve face, covering over. And it's a structural cell wall, a secondary wall that forms basically. So there's an internal layer of silica, then there's this sort of honeycomb thing, and another layer of silica over the top, and that's how it ends up being so thick like this. So I'm going to set the speed settings to 7, the beam intensity to 7, which actually makes the image a little bit higher resolution, so you can see a little bit more detail in here as a result of that. And then I'll be able to take a picture, and this will be only a 3-minute picture, but it'll let me come back and see what chat's doing. Okay, hi Sarah. What are the empty rings? Yeah, they're little areolae openings, yeah. Oh, the rings the size of diatoms are probably girdle bands that get separated from the actual diatoms. Thank you for the follow, Nuke Dukem. They're probably just girdle bands of diatoms, which can get separated. So, yeah, Pacific Plankton got you there. You love seeing the imperfect ones, great examples of what can happen to them as they are tossed around or destroyed over time. Yeah. What about Pseudonychia? They float. They do. I guess there are some diatoms with raphe that float. Those ones live in chains, and they use their raphes to sort of slide up and down their chains, or to attach to other organisms in their colony. But they may actually start off as benthic. They might actually be tychoplankton. Pacific. I don't know that they're... I know they float, but I don't know. They may also be what we call tychoplankton, which is like accidentally plankton. Like they're probably also covering hard surfaces as well. The Mustachio strongman is amazing, Mind of a Snail. Also, I have a snail command, which we already used once, but I didn't get to use it. So, I'm still working. I still have some more people to add to my streamer commands, but I've been slowly filling them in. So, regular streamers should have their own, command. It's easy enough. It's actually fewer things to type than trying to get their whole name in there. So, and for anybody who's wondering, what am I doing streaming on Monday? I have changed my schedule, so I will be probably regularly streaming on Mondays and Wednesdays from the SEM now. And I'll probably be doing quite a bit of just monkeying around, doing light microscope streaming whenever I feel like it, because my semester's over. So I'm just in grading mode. Thank you for the follow. I'm just in grading mode from now on until I actually caught up on my grading today for everybody in all of my classes. And this is finals weeks for my students, so I don't have any more lectures to write. I do have a class over the summer that I'm teaching, but it's one that's online, and I've taught it before, and the lectures are all recorded, you know, from the last time I taught it. So it's mostly just grading and a little bit of management of the discussion boards and that sort of thing. So very limited amounts of work on my part, which makes it easy for me. I don't know that it's any easier for the students, but it's not, other than just trying to get the Blackboard pages together, it's not a lot of work. So, and it's just one. Last summer I did 2, so that's nice. It's a nice part about it. And what is this piece of junk? I think it's just poop. The samples that Pacific Plankton sends me, they have a lot of poop in them. And we boiled these in nitric acid for 2 hours this morning. Yeah, I think that was done this morning by Mallory. You can see here's some more of those little eyelash-like spines on the sides, and the big long tube coming right out at us for this ditilum. And we should find one of those on its side so you can really see the eyelash structures. I need to crank up the beam intensity so it's a little bit brighter and we can see out at this distance. So now I'm zoomed all the way out. We're only like 130 times magnification. So that's one of the things that's really cool about the scanning electron microscope is we can go from you know, this, which is 100 times magnification, up to 100,000 times magnification, and I don't need to change lenses or any of that other nonsense. I just need to turn a knob and zoom in. These are what I was looking for, Sarah, except for usually they even have like a layer here. These ones sort of just have the edge pieces of the coverings. They don't have the whole covering that goes over them, but they kind of look amazing like this. So I'm going to work on getting the focus just right. Drop the beam intensity down. And I'm going to get in really close. Because I can. And get that focus just the way we like it. Somewhere around there. See how grainy it is? That's because I lowered the beam intensity, which makes the beam narrower. And when you're zoomed in this close and the speed settings are on 7, this is what you get, or 6. Here's 7. And when you guys first came in, this is 8, which is where we were. And you can actually see a noticeable difference in the quality of the image between here, this little stretch where it looks grainy again, and here where it looks very sharp. And that is just about how long the beam takes to scan over the image. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see many of these things. And then I'm going to actually crank this one down to beam intensity 6. And speed 8. And I'm going to fix the brightness and contrast, and I'm going to take this picture because I think it's going to look really good. Another spectacular image. Once I can see the inside of one of these, the Lasiacyra, and I can really get in there, you know, 200,000 times and get the image kind of crisp, then it stays that way. And it's just, focus knob is just the height at that point. And it looks like this is going to be really sharp. It's looking good to me. So I'm just going to snap that, and we'll have another 10-minute conversation while we wait for the picture to show. Taco plankton. Oh my god, if it was taco plankton, that would be so delicious. It's actually Tycho, 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 Tychoplankton. And while we're talking about it, Tycho means accidental. And so Tychoplankton is stuff that starts off benthic. It gets picked up in the current or by wave energy, and then now it's plankton. So it actually covers everything that starts off benthic that could be ripped up and carried into the plankton that's found in the plankton. But there are some organisms that are it's kind of a strategy for them. They actually hang out in the plankton, but they start off benthic. And I'm kind of fussy about the use of it because people sometimes use the word tychoplankton when they mean miroplankton. So miroplankton are actually, miroplankton is this word. And miroplankton means that something has a staged life habit. In other words, one stage of their life, they're plankton. One stage of their life, they're nectonic. One stage of their life, they're benthic. So think of like a jellyfish, right? People say, oh, jellyfish are plankton. They are, but they're actually miroplankton. They have one stage of their life where they start off benthic, and then one stage of their life where they're just plankton. They're being carried around. And you know, on some level, maybe they have a nectonic phase. But that's different for me than tychoplankton, which are basically just accidentally plankton. So there's a fundamental difference between them, and I usually distinguish them. How many tachoplankton would it take to get full? I don't know, Sarah, but I'm willing to find out. As long as they're not $1 for each tachoplankton, that seems like it would get expensive. Yeah, maybe they're miroplankton. So anyway, there's this sort of tychoplankton, miroplankton sort of discussion where you kind of have to know what the intention of the organism was. Is it intend to be in the plankton and it just gets there this way? Or does it intend to have these different stages? So all those organisms that make cysts, like Chaetoceros and Allocasyra, and many of our chain-forming diatoms, they probably are actually miroplankton. They probably only mean to be in the water column when the water column is actually beneficial for them to be in it. And then the rest of the time they don't want to be in it at all. And Chaetoceros will do this intentionally. They'll make themselves heavier and try to fall out of the water column because the nutrients aren't there to support the colony anymore. So they're in the water column when it's beneficial, and then they're out of the water column when it's not beneficial. But then they can get carried back up into the water column and be fine again. And the same thing is true with tychoplankton, but I think tychoplankton start off attached, and they mean to be attached, but they just get carried into the water column, and then they persist there. So anyway, it's like a really like nitpicky language, but I usually, when I'm talking about like Allocasyra or Chaetoceros, refer to them as miroplankton, because I think that their intention is to be in the water only at a specific time, and then they make themselves heavier on purpose to try to get out of the water column when they're not supposed to be in it. And tychoplankton don't do that. Tychoplankton don't typically have like a time to make myself heavy, or I'm going to adjust the length of my chain forming mechanism to make myself heavier or lighter, because they're not functionally acting like plankton on purpose. They're facultative plankton, right? They're there by accident part of the time. And yeah, so it's a little bit it'll get expensive fast for sure. Yeah, there are some jellies that are fully plankton, but many of them have sort of staged lifestyle, right? And there's lots of tychoplankton in your samples. This is also turning out to be a great picture, for me anyways. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that just looks so good. Even the like slightly dissolved, like outer layer just looks amazing, doesn't it? It just has so much going on in it. It seems like such a simple image, but it's just got it's so rich with character, and these little holes where the Rima portula pop out. So this is Costinodiscus perforatus, and so it has this layer. If you look down in here, if you're looking into the darkness of these things, you can actually see there's little pores. If you look really carefully, you can see there's little dark pores in here, which are the cribra that we saw on that other view on the inside. You can actually see them in there. It's just, it needs to be tweaked a little bit in order to make them a little bit, because they're kind of bright, but you can see little dark pores in here. So that is actually the inside cribra that we can see from the outside of the organism. And then there's like a chamber and another chamber here, the loculae, and this is on the surface of that. This is the external part of the diatom. So if you were something that was trying to attack into the internal part of this diatom, you'd have to pass through this outer screen mesh in through this inner screen mesh in order to get on the inside of it. I think that just looks great. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Strategy is key, yes. Diatoms make choices. They do, believe it or not. You know, they're actually really impressive decision making. It's more like instinct than decision making, but if they sense that the water quality around them has low silica, Alkasyra will adjust the length of their colony by making a special type of cell that causes the colony to separate. And they do this based on the amount of silica in the water and the light levels. So the two things that they can sense, and they just naturally, when they're splitting, make decisions based on their environment. Decisions. I'm anthropomorphizing them a little bit, or a lot, but there's sort of a behavior that changes as a result of the environment that they're in, which is pretty cool. So, Garlic SCR, hello. We were talking about crunchy, delicious taco plankton. On my tacos, sweet potato tacos, what we have at home quite a bit now, because my wife and I we're not vegetarian, but we mostly eat vegetarian, and we still can't convince our daughter to eat those either. But even when we make the beef tacos, she won't eat them. Something wrong with her. Yeah, I think she's broken inside. So SEM's the best, isn't it? Eat your heart out, the rest of Twitch, who doesn't have an SEM, I guess. These are pretty awesome photos. Also, it's 5 o'clock, and maybe I'm going to tinker around just a little bit longer, and then I'm going to find someone to raid, because I do need to get home eventually today. But this is sort of my new plan for streaming on Mondays, is like a 3-hour block from 2 to 5, or maybe 2 to 6 if I can get away with it. We'll see what my wife says. Casinodiscus perforatus. This is the external. And I got the once I got the stigmation looking really sharp, then it's hard to let go of the SEM. I worked so hard to get the stigmation perfect, and now it's like, okay, stream's over. I spent 20 minutes getting it perfect, and now we have to move on. Okay, so that's a nice giant diatom with gorgeous external structure that we saw. I was really hoping to find another one of those Cymbella. We found a Cymbella earlier that had really pretty pores as well, but it was at a weird angle, and it was in the part of we took 3 samples from each of these, and 2 of them we didn't digest at all. No, 1 of them we didn't digest at all, 2 of them we did. And it was in the group of the 2 that of the one that we didn't digest. So I don't have a digested version of that Cymbella visible. That's a sponge spicule right there. That's poop. And all these little things are diatoms that you see here, or almost all of them. I think that's just a broken fragment of a diatom. I think. Yeah, I think that's just a fragment of something really big. We've got a nice internal view of lithodesmium, or no. Yeah, I think that's a lithodesmium. Looking right down on the rim of Portula. Just happened to land right on its spine, which is super weird. And more or less it's balanced on it. So we can see all of the detail on the inside of the diatom. So it seems like it's at least worth a little 3-minute photo. Doot. You have to go get plankton, or else you're not going to have a stream. I forgot about that. I guess when I was designing this, I should have thought to time it so that you don't have to worry about that. But thanks for hanging out with us and moderating Pacific Plankton. And as I mentioned, we will see Pacific Plankton tonight at midnight Eastern, or I guess that's 9 o'clock Pacific time. And she actually sent me 2 samples here that we've looked through. One from Thursday of 2 weeks ago, and one from, oh, you know what? I got a thing for that. What's your channel called again? I forget what I made a thing. You got the custom YouTube name. Oh, okay. I should probably add that to the stream. That's pretty cool. If you go to the bottom of the stream, there's a, oh, it's Pulse. That's what it was. Yeah. I got a little, I should probably change it. There. I guess I should just change it. To put up your custom YouTube name instead in my bot. But if you're interested, these probably were in the Pulse of the Plankton that Pacific put up from last week, or is it from today? Did you do that today? I don't know when you did your editing next, but it was like Monday of last week and the Thursday before that, which are the samples that we're looking at right now. So this guy in the top corner up here is a Chitoceros, and then this thing here I think is Lithnodesmium, an internal view of it. Very radiant view of it. And then, yeah, maybe I'll just find one more good photo in here, and then say thanks to everybody and find someone to attack. Oh, I have a great plan. We will go get Julkson, who's streaming now, and it'll be fun to raid Julkson. Do I want to join the voice tonight? Yes, that sounds good. I was actually going to see if you wanted to be speaking in this one, but then Mallory came, so I just thought it would be easier without the 3 of us trying to talk at the same time. Not to hold it against Mallory. I'm happy she came. But Lithmodesmium 2. But yeah, I can be on vocals. Should be fine. We haven't done that for a while, but it would be good. Speed 4, beam intensity 10. Let's find something, and then we'll raid Jelks and, oh, here, I wanted to show people the Ditilum eyelashes, actually. Here they are in eyelash mode. That's Ditilum. It's not the one that we were just looking at, but kind of similar in that it's triangular. Different genus. And there are their little eyelash-like spines that go around the outside edge. You can see it sort of standing up like a fence. And this is the central tube for the external expression of the rim of Portula. You can see how those things sort of fit together. It's triangular shaped diatom, or what we like to say Toblerone shaped diatom, because they create big long chains, or marshmallow on a stick, I guess, sort of diatoms that create long chains. And here's what it looks like from the top up here. This is a cool odontella with a really long bow face. Somewhere hiding in here is a little tiny Thalassiosira with the big long spines on it. Oh no, it's Stephanopixis. Here you can see the spine in the center of the Stephanopixis too. It's a nice view of that one. Still got some schmutz on it, but kind of get the sense of the scale of them this way. Here's the odontella I was talking about. Here's skeletonema. This little thing that looks like a stack of lunch trays is Chaetoceros. That's a Thalassiosira. You can tell Thalassiosira pretty easily. They've got this rim of Portula hole that sticks out on the valve face really far, usually. It gives them a sort of a distinct appearance in the SEM. Does it have that? Okay, I know what it is immediately, basically. Even if you're not very good at diatom identification, you can probably figure that one out pretty quickly. So you look for a ring of strutted processes around the outside edge, and then one long, or sometimes, yeah, one long rim of Portula. And that's usually, that'll get you right into the right genus. There, Thalassiosira. See, we've got a ring, strutted processes, one long spine sticking out on the top in that ring or close to it. Here's another one, one long ring sticking right out there, one long spine, like projectile. Okay, let's find something good. I'll zoom on in, take a good picture, and then we'll go raid Julkson. For real. Let's see, gonna go out, try to get a wide view. We'll move way over here where we haven't been, hopefully. Oh, that's a radiolarian, not a diatom. There are some things in these slides that aren't diatoms. Not a lot. It's mostly diatoms, but there are some other things present. We'll allow it this time. But you can see how much of the primary production is done by diatoms, especially after I digest everything else. Get rid of all the organic material. In the samples that Pacific sends me, there could be all kinds of other things possibly present in them, including tiny organisms that may be here as well. Animals. In some of the samples. Let's see. Go back over to 4 real quick. We didn't spend much time here. We jumped over to 6 before we really had a chance to look through 4 and see what we can find. There's a giant odontella. Those are skeletonema. There's another giant odontella. They're so huge. It's hard to have a lot of context for them, but when we see them, we've mostly seen little tiny ones, and then we see these just monster-sized ones occasionally in here, in long colonies. It's kind of impressive. That's a sponge spicule, and that's a Chaetoceros with some really long setae on it. This looks like a top view of one of those Stephanopixis again. I think I see another one over there. Yeah, you can see this sort of hexagonal, polygonal structure. It actually has little tiny openings in them, but usually they're occluded. There we go. You can actually see the little tiny openings on them if you get in close enough. Not sure why the internal camera's freaking out, but it seems to be as well. So everything's having a freak out electronic day. Wow, that is super weird looking. I'm gonna get a picture of this one because I just don't know what it is. I guess Stephanopixis, but we've never seen one that just has 4 random little spines sticking out of it like that. These are probably Rheumoportula openings, not spines, but you know, spine structures. Spiny, spinos. Okay. Very cool. Beam intensity 7. And speed 7. And we'll take that picture. Okay. So, Professor Melko, you're still here. Oh, and Pacific Plankton. Can't pull yourself away. I'm not sure what this is, Pac, if you're still here. Coco, hello. All right. I want to say thanks to everybody. We had a great stream. We had a big raid from Professor Milko. Got a bunch of new followers, like 15 new followers. Some gift subs from Sarah, a subscription from Henry Hook, some cheers from Make You. And also, we got a stream yesterday from Physics O, and I didn't get a chance to say anything. Thank you to Physics O for that raid. I was busy playing and didn't see the chat log. So, all right. This has been a really cool, fun stream. Lots of good stuff going on, and I want to keep the microscope mojo going by giving a raid to Julkson. Julkson's a new streamer, and they do microscope streaming, and yeah, it's like a golf ball. And they've been streaming from their light microscope for a couple of weeks now, and you know, they don't have a ton of followers, so I really want to try to get some attention on them. And Let's see. We should be able to do that. Yeah, okay. So they don't do any talking. They just do the microscope stuff. I'm trying to convince them that they should probably get a webcam or a microscope or a microphone or something. But they just play music and look at really cool stuff in the light microscope. But it's live microorganisms. So Nipponica, there you go. All right, so thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Thanks to Mallory for being here and for helping us prepare the samples. It was like I said, a good stream. Thanks to Pacific Plankton for sending the samples, and for all the people for hanging out with us. I'll probably be back and do some night stream a little bit later this week, or maybe tonight. I don't